就中路是一个平线，然后前期应该是瑞兹能推的，然后挖掘机这条线属于是越打越舒服，就你管不住他。
是，而且从团战的一个难易度层面上来讲 ，BFX 这个团战其实更难一些，
进场有压力。
对。
Why is Malzahar seeing play? Because he's very good into the lower range mid laners which have come out. As soon as the longer range mages are down a little bit and becomes more powerful, potential level 1 here into a Braum can be kind of dangerous. Aiming has the Q start. Kellen could go for a flash W here, but I really think they got the follow up on it.
他们其实是主要是想进来去找一下云安娜到底是个什么动作。
你是挖掘机的话，感觉没必要一级换线了。下路能正常对线。 就除非你是什么要发育的上单英雄，我可以让 AD 先上去恶心你一下。
而且他不光进来看了一眼部署之后，他还成功的把这个。
So yes, best of 5 are 1 best of 5 at the event. All the rest were best of 3s. Really want to see how this bot lane goes. Lucian Braum very quickly locked in for DK. Start of the draft. Diablo getting that Q stacked up and threatening that auto reset. You're a really annoying champion to deal with in lane. Just again there, procs it up. Gets the AoE bounce back on some waves. Kellen lands a Q. Look at the HP advantage for Diablo and Kellen. Aye, some free auto attacks about the place. A Rakan Q. Suddenly it's just, you know, so hard to fight back. Lucian Braum does fight back pretty well with a Lucian Q and a passive there, but this is why Nymaera has retained a bit of presence. A lot less than before. Why is Vikla starting E and not W? Because the E helps you clear Malzahar Voidlings at level 2 if you go EQ. Or level 2-3. Basically gives you the best wave push versus Malzahar because you're not really gonna be able to stop Malzahar from getting farmed, sadly, but you can get wave control uncontested versus Malzahar with EQ start. W is better against lanes where you fight more, less so against the Malzahar. Easier to proc mana flow with the bounce off of range minions as well. That's a very good point. One. Yep, mana flow easier to proc with the Ryze as well. But wow, just look at the wave pressure you get early from Nymaera. It is kind of like having Sivir Ricochet alongside, you know, it is that auto attack reset with AoE damage. It's not too different there.
就是这个是一级站位问题了，就 Amy 站的是补刀位，而 Barry 站的是
Okay, now moving with that lane pressure, Vikla pushing in. We were saying Vikla has had some awkward early games at this tournament. We'll see if that changes for this finals. It really feels like later into the game when it comes into team fights where Vikla has had more value.
起来之后，瑞兹就很麻烦了。
等一件套吧，蚂蚱这英雄就经典等一件套。
Lucid spotted, monkey seen, monkey don't gank. That was funny because that's a pun on monkey see, monkey do. Yeah. It's truly the peak of comedy. What else are you here for, you know? You're here for God Glow and the occasional facepalm and a sigh. Ooh, aiming, jumping forwards. Rakan Q landing already. Flash beyond the Rakan W. There's a wiggle in a brush. Raptor's coming down. They see Jarvan here. Lucid's going to go trade onto him to make sure the Raptor doesn't just go in towards bot lane already. He's going for the fight now, and that's because Ryze is on the way down first. It's because Ryze is on the way down first. It's one of the bonuses of Ryze versus the Malzahar early, is that you do get the wave push. Malzahar was picked into the Ryze, but later on, Ryze... Whenever Ryze wants to do damage to a Malzahar, Malzahar can ult him, and that is a problem. Aiming, dodging out on that Rakan W. That was close, yeah, was close to dying. Has the barrier, though. And will be safe. DK, with the help of Lucid coming down, do end up buying the wave shove in. Lucian can back now. What's he going to get? Does he get a cull? Kellen? Ooh, doesn't solve the back. Close, close. Double longsword start for Lucian. Triple longsword start for Lucid, interesting. Sometimes you see the sheen. Do they standardize placement of summoners in the UI, or do all 10 players have flash on F? No, they don't standardize the placements. They do flip around. They do flip around. Pretty sure. And if they do standardize them, they're teaching players the correct key to put flash on, which is of course F, because D is not for flash. Shout out Medios. Malzahar is a bait. I think Malzahar's been very good for Showmaker at this tournament. He's played very well on it.
但是按 LCK 的排名好像已经120个了。
那是他们总额。
对，就是总额。
总额确实是。
然后前几名全是 LCK。
No calls for either AD carry. I think they realize they're going to be fighting a little too much to drop the combat stats there.
上路方面这个 CU 还是玩得很舒服。
等新时吧，这朗姆就是经典新。
Raptor yet to take his first back. He's back in like a minute after Lucid, by the way. He's backed after like 2 full clears. It's quite rare to see AD junglers delay their back this much. Yeah, he's gone through like 2 full clears. You know, he's 10 CS up because he's stayed around for the extra camp or 2. We'll see if anything really comes to this. He's going to get top scuttle as well. I believe he was spotted on top side there as well, maybe? Wasn't sure if that wall was in trouble. I lost concentration for a second. Dragon taken by DK, as Raptor was top side. Raptor, my dude, you've been on the road for a while. You do need items at some points, Jarvan. Realm Warp's coming through. Showmaker might just flash over, and does. Chooses not to chance it. Did wonder whether he could just turn it around and ult. Lucid and Beryl in here. Here comes Showmaker as well. Raptor and Vikla coming in to the play. That's an ult onto the Jarvan. He can't ult early, which means that the dunk isn't there to save Diablo, who has died for the first blood. Vikla gonna get stunned up next. Probably does have flash. Can he get out? Yes, he can. Phase rush and his passive keeping him safe. I suppose he ended up remaining safe because the Braum passive had already worn off. And hey, Peng, thanks for the follow. Great casting you in the arena tournament the other day. Peng, one of the best RE players in the world by my eye, and I'm a big fan of them. Just followed over on Twitch. Cool stuff. Shiwu and Clear not taking part in any of the shenanigans early. Do you think we'll see a Malzahar at Worlds, or is he strong, or is it just a fun thing? I think there are some points where you can use him, and in Fearless, you have to say, yeah, there's a chance. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think that's... When you look at the shorter range mages coming out right now, there's quite a lot of Rise prio. There is some, you know, there's Galio being picked, Blind sometimes too. I think there are points where Malzahar can be used. Now, you have to be very aware that Malzahar is a very unsafe champion. Such a free kill. If he ever loses flash and you get him behind, there's a lot of worlds in which Malzahar can just kind of lose you games. Like right here, Showmaker has no flash, and there are 3 people moving mid lane. He is probably dead. He has no flash. He doesn't have his ult either. Aiming is coming in. I say that. Wow, okay. Might just live a little longer. Trying to get the last bit of damage. The Dragon Strike will do it from the Jarvan. And as we were just saying, this is the problem with Rise. Not Rise, with Malzahar. You can just hard force onto him as, when he has no flash, and he doesn't have much to say about it, really. Second grub taken by Lucid. There was the dunk, of course, he used a little earlier. Braum passive starting to get applied, and the Cyclone comes forward as well. Double taps coming through from aiming, and the Wukong Braum is so annoying to get away from. They didn't even stick around for the third grub. Didn't need it. Grub's up, and they're not hungry. Well, they are now. They're going back for seconds. Or in this case, thirds. They'll get the 3 grubs. Lucid. Good combo up there with Beryl. Wukong Braum, really annoying if you get the Braum passive applied onto you. If you do end up standing between the Wukong and his clone and they both press Q, then it does apply 2 stacks of the Braum passive, I believe. The Blast Cone Malzahar is a great engage, as Showmaker showed off. Yeah, for those of you that missed Showmaker's Blast Cone Malzahar game, not yesterday, but the day before, it may be the worst Malzahar player that I've ever seen. So now BFX are even in early game, 2-1. I think BFX's early games have probably been their weakest point of their game. They have lost a couple of kills from overextension or some poor tracking of enemy jungler, stuff like that. Did he cancel it? No, he actually didn't cancel the ult. He blast coned right on top of mid lane turret, ulted and died under turret. It was... Yeah. No, he didn't even cancel it. In fact, it would have been better if he had cancelled it and walked away. He didn't, and he died. It was really quite spectacular. Go back and watch it. We got VODs on the channels you're watching on. Go back and watch it if you got the stomach for it. Okay, so as we were saying, even in gold. BFX, their early games have been a bit shoddy, but they have really turned online later into the game when it comes to their team fights. They're very talented both the teams, very talented skirmishers and team fighters. Mechanically, they've been so exciting to watch, and I think that's been the tale of this ASI, really, is that despite there being questionable decisions at points in the game, that was a missed cannon there, we saw that aiming. Despite there being some, questionable points in some games from the teams, they've brought very entertaining, aggressive League of Legends, particularly when it comes to the team fights later on. I think Diablo has been spectacular to watch. Oh yeah, coincidence. Yeah, I did start calling Malzahar Cadril instead of Malzahar because my brain started getting a bit messy that day, I don't know why. That was the thing, just ignore me sometimes, occasionally that's the best course of action. Kellen's loaded up the spellbook support. Teleports.
而且皇子不敢进，皇子也是没傻的，进来被摁住，直接滚了。但你总得有个人进去。
First items should be just around the corner. Sunder Sky poured up for Raptor. Spent a lot of the early game farming, of course. Lisa trying to take away these Raptors and gets most of them. Well, I say gets the big one, not most of them, but does get the most gold out of it. I think he's got to be pretty close to Triforce. What is it? 400 for the combine on the longswords or so, and then another 300 and a bit for the completion of the item. 700 off. Can't remember the last time he backed. Hey, AG, good to see you. Shu getting a second play in this laning phase. Of course, the Rek'Sai was picked into the Ambassador. They have 3 grubs now too, so it makes it easier to push that. Dragon now taken by BFX means that it'll be 1 dragon apiece. Grubs to DK. They're getting good gold out of it too, because of course grubs don't matter unless you use them, and they're using them here, pushing down the tower a little bit more quickly. Can they get any wave clear on bot side? Lucid's coming out of base with Triforce. Ryze is coming down. If Lucid goes for the wave clear, is he safe to do so? He's hanging in this brush. He's just waiting there to see if Shiwu will get there in time for the teleport. Lucid, you need to walk up now. Realmor's coming down. This will be a 4v1 for now until Lucid's there. I think Lucid might have timed this a little bit difficultly. Has the ult and dodges out on the ultimate from Jarvan. Avoids the Cataclysm. Vikla trying to pick up the 1 kill, but he can't even get that. A heal from Beryl, and Shiwu outplays under turret. The Rek'Sai is so hard to take down in dives. I thought with a 4v1 it would be enough. Apparently not. Shiwu shows us how. Hell of an outplay. Ult in mid lane now too. I'm not really... Okay. I guess he just wanted to stare at him intently. The Nether Grasp. Grasp it firmly. What a Malzahar... Oh yeah, what a Malzahar play. Can you think of another player that would do a Malzahar ult like that? Not me. What a great ult. What a great ult from Shiwu. The immediate flash out for no follow-up auto as well. Manages to get a backstep or 2 on some Ryze skills. Beryl comes in with a heal. Bob's your uncle. Or maybe he's not. I don't know if you have an uncle called Bob. Maybe you do, though. If you do, say hi to them. I guess. Oh, he cancelled TP. Oh, hang on. Sorry, my bad. He stopped TP. I was just bad. I didn't notice the teleport animation. There you go. My bad there. Yeah, he did just cancel a TP. Yep. Yeah, okay. You know what? That was actually a pretty good Malzahar. I take it back. You know what, folks? I take it back. You've got the best of me in this one. He cancelled a teleport. That's worth it. Chiru on bot side now, going on towards Vikla. About half the HP down. Yep, my bad, folks. Did interrupt that teleport. Good stuff from Showmaker. And I take back the facetious comments I made before. So the Ambassador teleporting away from mid lane did allow DK to kind of make him drop another wave. Could have just used Q. Yes, he could have just used Q. I don't know whether it was on cooldown or not, though, is the problem. So now 2.5k lead for DK. Dragon up in 2 minutes 30. Herald in 10 seconds. What happened in the matchup between these two last time in the best of 3 in a... Oh, he missed the Q. That's why Ambassador started TPing. Right, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Herald is now alive. Right, in the last matchup we saw between these two teams, BFX got out-team fought by DK. Even though I think that's been one of their strengths in the rest of the bracket, they have been out-team fought a fair bit. 2v3 in the mid lane right now. Cullen pulled out. Lucid is here, so is Ambassador, of course. Clear. Shiwu keeping Vikla very much locked in lane. Redemption, hang on a second, that's a full-on kill! Where the hell did that damage come from? Shiwu, the level 2 ultimate at level 12, just ripping a hole through Vikla. Ult from Malzahar is not cancelled by Clear because he had his passive on. And Bessa can't get the job done. Flash forward, and I think Clear might have actually just sent himself into the sepia screen himself. He'll die. DK doing some great work here. Shiwu doesn't have the ult now. His tunnel's cancelled. That could actually be a bit of an issue. Flashing forward for the Malefic Visions, trying to get the Braum passive down. Diablo starting to get some damage through with the lethal tempo. Stacking the Voidlings, good damage. BFX get one back after cancelling the tunnel of the Rek'Sai, but you can see that D plus Key are really running over a lot of the early fights in this game. Shiwu's got some very high damage on the Rek'Sai. I did not expect that at all, and obviously neither did Vikla.
修梅克身上有一层套，是的，直接被那个套完全给挡住了，
全场保护了呀，这是。
Well, Clear has discovered what Malzahar does, which is, you know, stand there with a passive on. You can't do much until it's down. And then he grasps it firmly with the Nether Grasp. Herald wasn't taken in the aftermath of that. Still up and available. Dragon's up in a minute now. With 3 grubs, DK would really like to have the Herald, of course. 2,000 gold lead for Shiwu. 400 gold lead for Diablo though. 2 items on the Nymaera. That's scary. It is scary in fairness. So the question is, can BFX get to a point where they can just death ball and just start grouping up and teamfighting again? Showmaker passive wears off. Rune Prison's there. He doesn't have a flash, and you know there is an EQ available, and Showmaker's just gonna die. Again, the Malzahar very good if you've got multiple people he can set up for around him. Not great when he's on his own, especially not great when he's on his own with no flash. Has teleport. 30 seconds until he could teleport into the play. Herald was taken by D plus Kier, of course, in the last minute. Dragon is available. I think Showmaker would be back in time for a Dragon start if BFX wanted to go towards it. Q lands from the Braum. Cullen comes out after us to try and make use of that slow. Not bad play here. Shiwu could, in fact, go for something special here. Q over the wall. Does have flash and ult, and we saw the damage he had earlier. I was wondering how aggressive he wanted to be. I think if he'd gotten decent damage onto Diablo, I say that, he's going in anyway. The Titanic Hydra doesn't work. And reminder that even though there's a bit of damage there, does it have, of course have his own sustain too. Redemption coming in. Baby Cage under the turret. EQ out. Shiwu will have to flash away. Charm coming through, but he does get the tunnel out as it comes off of cooldown. BFX, an attempted punish on DK as they go under turret. Can't quite get what they want. Showmaker went top side. Does have teleport to join bot side if anything goes crazy. Whoa, I needed that coffee. Oh man, this is a coffee-heavy day for me, folks. It's been a long, it's been long days in this tournament with the 3 series a day. Quite a short one, of course, taking place over the week. I like these mini tournaments like this, though. We get to see a lot of fun matchups that we wouldn't see normally. Now, I'm not going to lie, when you see teams kind of fall off into the mid-table, even if they have a good start in the year, which is D plus Kier, sadly, their journey of this year, really. You don't really expect to see them building up, you know, rivalries or anything like that with other regions, right? Because there aren't any mid-table international tournaments. Getting to see them versus teams like JDG and Weibo has been a fun experience. I have been enjoying it. And of course, the most enjoyable thing was Godgor, the Grasshopper. Sadly, Grasshoppers only live about 3 months, so, wait, how did Cadril react to that? Because I know he's streaming today. Did you see the Grasshopper before? We need like a compilation of all the reactions to Godgor from all the co-streamers. I don't know who else has been streaming it. Hang on a second, might be a flank here in mid lane. The Slurkle hits aiming, which is the slow circle I've been told. Godgor highlight reel. Well, it's the most important thing to come out of this tournament, of course, Godgor. Game slowed down a little bit. Great vision control from VFX on the top side, actually. They really don't want anyone using the Malzahar in that side lane to set up well. Look at all the wards on top side. They're clearing out some of them now. They really wanted to stop that. 1,000 gold leaf for Vikla, actually. Even though he's 1 and 3, he's been Getting a decent bit more gold from bits and places.
但那样的话就是可能会一直保持的一个就是瑞兹在推线，老马尔扎。
Shu well on the way to the second item. See if it's a. I imagine it's the Shojin. We've seen some of that when you get ahead on the Rek'Sai and you go Titanic Shojin, your damage is kind of. God, speak of the Grasshopper God himself. He shall appear. Has defected over to BNK Fearex. Was on Fearex before the draft, DK after the draft, and is now defected back towards BFX. Teleport back into mid lane for Showmaker now. Potential fight on the bot side. Kellen misses the W, has the E out. Raptor, EQ over the wall. Shiwu angling. Nothing coming of it. Trademark by Atlas. Hey, Atlas is one of the most iconic and influential casters of all time. I consider it a mark of honor to use someone's references, such as the Slurkle. Hang on, Raptor going for the EQ, dunking onto Lucid. He does have Cyclone, does have Flash. Whoa, he did not calculate that damage effectively at all. Shiwu jumping onto the Rise on the side, and that is a dead clear in the backline as well. The Realm Warp is not, I don't think, going to save Vikla, sadly. Shiwu still has his ultimate. He should be able to follow this, even if he has the extra move speed. I'm not sure it's going to matter that much at all. I say that. One more route might make it a little interesting, I say. Another tunnel. Shiwu, can he catch him? It really does feel like the Jaws team is in the background. Beryl. Flashes away from Diablo, who gets some extra damage, and he might even get another one. Gets the Braum down and nearly gets aiming with him. Vikla is still running, by the way. Trying to backstep on the tunnel, can't quite do it. An extended chase down onto Vikla. So what's the grand total of that? 2 for 3? 2 for 3, I think? Was it 2 for 4? Did Raptor and Kellen already respawn? Yeah, I think Kellen might have... No, it wasn't. It was 2 for 3, because Kellen's not died yet. Messy. Trying to figure out things in an early game when respawn timers are actually a little shorter. Can be a bit annoying. 2 for 3. So, Raptor started this fight. Not sure why. Not really sure why. Clear goes in, gets Malzahar ulted, and then he doesn't get to have much fun either. Credit to Vikla for getting the 1 in there. What happened under this tower then? What happened under this tower? Because they did end up taking the tower with the 3 grubs DOT. Ah, right. They were using the grubs from the 3 grubs and the voidlings to tank turret shots instead of minions. Beryl was like, haha, I have 3 grubs. I can take this tower. Braum power. Truly only a play Beryl could make. Beryl's playmaking happens on a different plane than ours. Exactly. This guy is not normal. He's not normal. He goes forward. Sets up for the Malzahar. Cyclone rip it as well. Braum misses. It's another kill to the side of D+ Kia. It's a mystery wrapped in an enigma, is Beryl's mind, it is. They got themselves the Atakan during that play as well, 23 petals. Can't remember what they had before, it's not the highest petal game for them, off the back of the Atakan. 3 items on the Lucian is terrifying for BFX, I gotta say, actually, because anyone who's locked down will get immediately stunned up by the Lucian, who will do a ton of damage. Oh, not that far ahead in terms of gold compared to the Yunara, but I just don't think the Yunara has the same platform to play off of. They don't have a front line. No one's... I mean, the Ambassador certainly isn't at this point. Oh, that's a cancel on the teleport. See, I caught that cancel teleport. Occasionally I can see that. Good damage from Vikla back onto Shiwu, though. That's the 2.5 items. The Rod of Ages actually stacked up while he was being killed by Shiwu in that extended chase down earlier. G in Twitch chat saying, remember a few years back when I told you there were people unironically calling this guy the GOAT support? I wish I could be wrong about this for once. What's wrong with that? Beryl, 2 worlds titles to 2 different teams? The numbers speak for themselves. Dragon started by BFX. Showmaker on the flank does have flash, does have ult. Shiwu jumping in, but not getting a good knockup. That's the flag drag after the dunk in. Lucid. Oh, that's the flash forward. Yep, good job, Diablo. Really get a lot of playmaking opportunity there. Doesn't have any ability to move and will go down. Diablo dealt with by Showmaker's Malzahar, and it is a 5 for none at the Dragon fight. What could you do? The poor Yunara can't even move. He doesn't have the QSS. You need to pay your taxes. Phone up the IRS. Get that Quicksilver. You need your damage items. You do. He has made sure he's got the 2 items first, but you know, they try and dash away from Malzahar and get some damage down, but Showmaker just gets there eventually, and what can Diablo do? What can he do? He gets hit by the Malzahar ult. No one's there to cancel. Really needs that QSS. Haven't had the damage to do so, the gold to do so, rather. On the side of BFX, no one has QSS. I wonder whether they think we just have to cancel the Malzahar ult.
Nymaera 这个布隆作用太大了，从第一波小规模团的胜利到后面每一波都是他拿肉身去留人。
That was a blender if I ever saw one. Yeah, I think really when the Rek'Sai, Wukong, and like all of the divers and BFX get into the play, and the Braum too, it's just a meat grinder. Such a meat grinder. And it's why champions like Wukong and Braum have been so present across this year. Hey, thanks for the stream streak there, Frag.
我们英雄联盟有自己的盾狗。
D plus Kia, BFX, a Rise group matchup. We've really been enjoying watching these teams. As someone that casts a lot of LPL, I cast a lot of LPL. I think I've done like 820 hours of streaming LPL this year. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't get my hands on LCK teams that often, or at all, really. So getting to cast some of these very entertaining Rise group teams has been fun. And I understand the Fries meme. I do understand it, but I consider it a badge of honor. I do. Victor's going to take the bot lane out of the turret. It's an objective bounty on top of it. A little bit of extra gold to them. Traded for an inner turret on the top side, though. 3 grubs make it a very quick push. Hang on a second. Guys, Foxes, friends, you're losing an inhibitor. This is not a worthwhile trade. See, the inner turret for the outer turret, sure, whatever. So not Vikla, Shiwu will take down Raptor. Vikla not even there. I was remembering the solo kill onto Vikla earlier is what I was. Culling comes through. Shiwu comes in for another target and Diablo. Yep, there's no counterplay there either. They do take down aiming, but I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. It's 1 kill for the 4 of D plus Kia. They'll teleport in towards the Nexus, and sadly, so all 5 BFX, there's no defenders. They have in fact traded a bot lane out of turret for the damn Nexus. D plus Kia, a dominant game 1, won in under 28 minutes. BNK Fearex, the Foxes sent back to the foxhole. Down 0-1 in the series. And then, yeah, I know there's a bunch of different people. And of course, there's Sam. Of course, there's Sam, my brother, who I get to have a great amount of fun with, and I think he's very, very talented and very skilled as well. So, yeah, lots. And if you want to learn, oh, hang on a second, flash away from Lucid. Level 1 for BFX, not bad there. Getting the flash out of the Shinzao, never a bad thing. Lucid, hang on a second. Raptor, you don't want to be going level 1 versus this Shinzao. The thing is, the Vi is very bad at fighting level 1. This is something that was really brought to my attention by I'll Dominate and Gilius, where they were basically just saying, like, look, if you're playing against a Vi, always invade her before they get themselves level 3. Once they get level 3, it's a problem. Okay, folks, we're going to get the Taeyun swap. Taeyun swap is where you change your AD carry and your top laner for the first level of the game, because they get better laning matchups. It's not really a lane swap, it's a role swap, but it was debuted by Team WE and their AD carry Taeyun. KT Rolster's coach Score was saying that they did it in scrims, and of course they did it on stage first as well. They did it a month or 2 ago. Good poke here at the level 1, getting almost half the HP down from Kellen. Good stuff. Showmaker played LeBlanc and Cassio against Weber, so not the Malzahar. Okay, I think maybe he did win all of his Malzahar games. Maybe I'm wrong then. Isn't that the Viper swap? No, Viper did it weeks after Team WE did. So it's just a case that less people watched the LPL, and it wasn't, you know, a top LPL team. It is the Taeyun swap. They did it first. It's just that they're a less popular, less seen team. So I'm trying to recorrect that a little bit. Be like, yo, actually, it's Team WE and Taeyun. Give them the props they deserve. They were the ones that popularized it, so I think it's nice to credit it to the correct people, you know? You didn't know that? Exactly, that's the thing. And now you've learned it. I think that's a good thing. Cool to spread the info around a little bit. Ahri into Lissandra, pretty good in the early levels of the game, actually. Vikla should get shoved, no problem. Can get some decent poke down. We did see a while where Ahri was going Spellbook into the Lissandra to get access to Cleanse, because obviously Lissandra very, very dangerous against the Ahri with stuns. Lucid going for his topside clear, then going over to the other side of the map. Raptor... Raptor sticking on his bot side for now. Someone was saying that Pina has to go to the military. I believe that is the case. Hang on, Lucid gets the blue buff steal away. Kellen saw him do it, so he has some evidence of the crime. And now what Lucid is going to do is go run across mid lane, see if we can get anything out of Vikla. Hang on, Showmaker might get in flash root range. Close. There was Very close to being in range there. His W was available. Might have led to a flash for flash trade or even a kill onto Vikla. And now what Lucid is going to do is protect his own blue buff. So stole the other one, try and get the 3-buff start. I think he's going to be fairly uncontested in doing that too. Aiming and barrel, of course, getting good pushing on the bot side. That's the negative of the Taeyun swap, is that you don't control bot side at all, really. Now that the lane swap detection has fallen off, Kellen will rejoin Diablo. He's reached level 3 already, and at that point you can actually lane against the Caitlyn and the Nico next time you match up against them. Spreading misinformation is my passion. Me when I spread misinformation on the internet.
这多开心啊！主要2个远程，而且是女警，女警的爆头是能对防御塔触发的，很舒服。
Raptor going for the Raptor respawn.
是你第2组 F6， 这个第2组 F6 被反是很亏的。你第2组经验值要高嘛。
Lucid taking Scuttle. D plus here really needs some strong individual advantages. I think if this is an even game where we come into objectives, BFX have a more coherent composition. You have everyone that can jump forwards and achieve the same goal of diving onto the same target and killing one of the carries in the back. Thanks for the stream street, TFC. I think for D plus Kia, they have a lot of damage. They do have a lot of damage. They don't have that much tank. I do get a little bit worried for them if they don't get individual advantages. I think that it's harder for them to find the first pick in the fight than against BFX, because what happens if, you know, Rel or Sion just put a load of CC onto you? What happened last time we saw DK versus BFX is exactly that, though. T plus Kia had I guess, a worse composition, but they played it better. They're very, very good at using high mobility, high burst damage to outplay the fight. Chu had an awesome Rumble game, and that one game he played versus them, the last time they faced up. Is this after the Ahri R buff? I will say the Ahri buff doesn't change too much. It changes a little, but not a huge amount. I think it is after the buff, but I'm not convinced it's changed that much about the champion and pro. Hang on a second. Oh, missing the Q stun, does land the crash down. Raptors on bot side, so is Lucid. So 3v3 I suppose. Root lands, good Q on target too. So the problem with stuff like the Caitlyn plus range CC support lanes is that if you ever get CC'd, instant Q or W afterwards, you lose half your HP for free. Ooh, Charm onto Lissandra, hits level 6, should be safe. Doesn't hit the backswing of the keep. This is one of the reasons I put extra points into RE into mid-game. I kind of tandem max. I go like 2 points E, then W, then E, then I kind of flip between them. Because it increases the CC duration for mid-game, which means that you're more likely to get the backswing of your Q in an EQ. Yeah, he's going to military for 2 years. Maybe we'll come back to coach. Oh, it's so sad. So many careers, which probably should have gone for a lot longer in the Korean scene, but military service cut them short. I do wonder whether there should have been an exception for, you know, important cultural exports, effectively. I do wonder, but whatever, it's their rules. And I know there is a stigma about missing out on the military too as well, so it's, at the end of the day, if the players wanted it, it's a separate thing. It's a very complex issue. Raptor, has he, hang on a second, has he gotten 3 Raptor camps? Is that all 3 Raptor camps? Holy moly, he's stealing your popcorn chicken. It's going into your fridge. Grubs coming up in a minute. Of course, when you've got a Caitlyn lane, you really want to get grubs and use them well. 3rd plate for them. This is the danger of swapping away from the Caitlyn lane. You give them such access to the tower that you give them a lot of gold doing this.
但主要这样的话，就是你前期的这种换线交换下来以后，你 Diablo 还是玩的不舒服啊。是。但就是反正都是得吃亏嘛。那现在对于 Diablo 来说，算是吃。
Recall coming in from the Caitlyn now.
因为你卡莎打女警嘛。
Has tier 2 boots for extra mobility and tower hitting. It's worth noting a lot of Caitlyn mains say that actually Berserker Greaves not actually that good on Caitlyn, especially since the attack speed got nerfed on them from 35% down to, what was it, 25%? I think they nerfed a fair amount of the attack speed on the boots. What it is good for is hitting turrets. If you're hitting turrets, it's very good. It has the dirt going towards that collector first. That will fall off versus the Scion later, but if you're hitting other people, it doesn't matter nearly as much. I feel like lane swaps are always bad, or is it just a patch on a gaping wound? It depends on the situation. It's very draft dependent. You want to survive early lane matchups. End of the day, the Kai'Sa manages to avoid a little bit of the matchup versus the Caitlyn, which is the big thing. Grub's now started by BFX. If they can deny that from the Caitlyn team, that's big. Oh, Diablo has cleanse. Has to use it early, half HP down. That being said, I think second Grub should be coming down shortly from BFX. Beryl being engaged onto Victor, using the ult. Not getting much value out of it, though. No hop over the pit. 3 Grubs to BFX. DK getting none of it. Showmaker instead pushing down bot side. Does he get a 4th plate from this? I mean, there are no teleports from BFX, so I assume he does. Just about... No, not quite. Wade's going to die. Okay, right. So BFX drops some farm to get the Grubs. DK not contesting. I do wonder whether they want to... I mean, it's always good if you can get them. You can't die for them, I suppose. Sion now ulting in, and the 4th plate will be gained by Showmaker on the bot side. Oh, not quite. Needs one more auto for it. There you go. It's 125 gold in pocket. So, almost 1,000 gold for DK, which is, I'm not going to lie, almost all in turret plates. 20 CS lead in bot lane, 10 in top lane. That's the extras on it too. Still, wouldn't you get the same value of not swapping? Caitlyn, Nico into Kai'Sa would just kill them like 2 times in early lane. It's ridiculous. It's very, very, very difficult lane. And then you're missing out on XP, you're missing out on gold, and then your Kai'Sa, which is very important to your composition, becomes a lot harder to use in the game. Sion doesn't matter having less gold. Kai'Sa very much does so. I need to learn the Sion language, the Sion screams in each language I cast it in. I know it in German. Feiglinger! It's cowards. I know that one. Don't know it in Chinese yet. Or Korean. Ahri get... Oh, hang on. This is a Rod of Ages Ahri build. I don't like the Rod of Ages build in this game. Not really. I feel like there's so many ways for your ult to get forced that you do want the extra cooldown on it. I think you want Merc Treads, Malignance ASAP with the Dark Seal early. Look, I'm a stickler for Ahri builds. I have several million... I've got like 2 million points in Ahri. I'm one of the more notable mains of it out there. Peng's in chat as well. Maybe Peng will chime in. I think that in pro play, when you go for Roa Ahri, you often get attacked in side lanes to blow your ult, and that becomes a win condition, because Ahri without ult really doesn't do much. And especially when you've got the Roa, it means that your ult cooldown is so long that it, I think that teams can just press you, get that ult. You know, the Lissandra ult is lower than the Ahri ult, so Showmaker, even though he's gone Rod of Ages, will have it on a lower cooldown. It's fine. I mean, what it does mean is you're less likely to get one shot, but I feel like this is the constellation build. This is the constellation build. Shoot good damage on the top side. Nice. Dragon available. DK did take the first one. This will be the second, and we'll find out what the rift is after. 3-man roam up towards the top side. Raptor Kellen, jungle support. Angling towards Shiwu. Showmaker doesn't have teleports. He won't be there in time. Kai'Sa's coming over. This should be a pretty successful dive. They'll have the numbers. This is a question of how much Shiwu can do in terms of wave clear and CC. Sionot's coming out. There is a flash from Shiwu. Diablo has to flash in. Shiwu flashing under the turret. That is the 4 people needed to bring him down. Took a couple more ults and roams than they would have liked, I suppose. They do have 3 grubs to put on the tower afterwards. Aiming, pushing bot side. Showmaker pushing mid lane. So BFX, the cost of that play is a lot of people's time invested, which means that they can't defend all other lanes. Shiwu has 10 seconds on teleport. Kill went over to the Kai'Sa. Malignance, Lichbane, no-brainer. Lichbane Ahri is a very fun build. I do like it a lot. It's sometimes not fantastic into Jax because you can counter-strike, but most of the time it's fine. I will say I don't mind stuff like the Horizon Focus anymore because it's such a cheap stat stick. Crazy amounts of stats. Aiming takes that turret down there. First turret of the game. So that will be an indicator towards the feats of strength. They need 1 more objective, or of course 3 kills before BFX get their next 2.
而且下一波龙团的话 ，BFX 是可以主动出击了。
Feiglinger is the correct German word that Germans use. I believe that's what I tried to say, Shrank. That is what I tried to say.
它身上还有一个萃取呢，这个萃取再一爆的话，其实它的中期战力会比女警强。
对，
女警是。
I need more German practice, obviously. Collector built up for aiming, so he's at his first spike now. Collector will fall off, of course, beyond the first item, but is very strong at this point. Slow game, 1 kill in 14 minutes. We had some games where we had like 8 kills in 7 minutes this tournament. The blood was really flowing. I think the slower this game gets, the better it is for BFX. DK would really like to start playmaking around the 1 item to 2 item mark. I think they've got some good power around here. Rod of Ages was built up by Showmaker earlier than Vikla, by the way. So he's got 3 stacks in it already, whereas Vikla was stopping off Boots and a Null Magic Mantle, which means he's slow on the Rod of Ages completion. So he's not even getting the best out of the Rod of Ages. 500 gold behind because Showmaker's gone to other lanes to push it better. I don't know, man. I don't know. And he's got no Dark Seal. Dark Seal on Ahri is such an important part of your snowball. Such an important part of it. I hate Collector when enemy has any tanks. Yeah, and I think that beyond first item, it just feels rough building this item. If you're hitting someone that isn't Scion, sure, yeah, it has value for sure. And of course, when there's a Lissandra on the team, the other team is incentivized to build magic resist, so that helps a little bit too. You get to split the resist, get more value for both people, because neither of them can fully be itemized against. But what happens if Clear just runs at Caitlyn and sits in front of her? What happens if Vi ults the Caitlyn, for God's sake? You know, there's a bunch of issues with that. Luckily, DK do have a decent amount of damage outside of the Caitlyn. Because what will be the game plan for DK is, when they're dived onto, they want to take a kill back and make sure they can get the whatchamacallit, get the Frozen Thralls. Yeah, and I know there's wave clear values for Collector Q, Max. Hang on a second, that's ult into mid lane. Clone blocks the Scion ult, which helps a bit. Charm, where's that coming out? Beryl does have flash. Chooses to use it late. Uses it late. Ult onto over the wall onto Lucid. He does have the Crescent Guard jumping onto Vikla. Doesn't have the flash anymore. Good pick off by BFX. Beryl flashing late. Lucid, disrespectful, getting caught up by Raptor with a great ult over the wall. Showmaker could have teleported in, chose not to. I'm just so surprised that Beryl chose to flash at all at the end. Surprised by that. Surprised I am. Bad things for the mid lane waves I have done. Herald goes over to BFX. Good fight for them. They get themselves the kill marker towards the feats of strength, and one more objective would get them the full thing as well. They also get themselves a good amount of gold off that course too. So Vikla got ulted here. Scion, good ult around the side. Raptor providing an extra engage threat. Clone ended up doing that thing where it blocks the skill shot. Beryl could have flashed. He could have flashed out of range there. Chose not to. Then Lucid walking way too far. Thank you, by the way, for the sub, by the way. Revo and Moody. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Welcome in. Oh, just great engage over the wall from Raptor. You know, those slight missteps, you're like, oh, you know, Lucid shouldn't have stepped up there. That's only a problem because Raptor is so quick on the punish, right? And then Diablo can fly over the wall as well. This is the power of BFX composition. They're ahead in gold now. And I do wonder, you know, last time we saw these teams, when they were playing a similar kind of game, DK outplayed with I would say, a less synergistic draft. BFX lost with the better teamfight comp, with the better combos. I have to say though, through the lower bracket, BFX have gotten better at teamfighting and playing out mechanically compared to when they lost against DK in the upper bracket. Wonder where that leaves them now, actually. Can BFX take a slight gold lead here with arguably a better comp and actually roll into a better fight than the last time? Shiva getting chased off by Clear. And Clear does have, hang on, Clear does have ult in 10. If he keeps Shiva around long enough, could actually threaten him, you know. Raptor flying on to Lucid, props the Crescent Guard. Not a great ult from Beryl there. Beryl might die for the defense, but what do they get in return? Rel goes down, Scion ulting into the play, Showmaker not very able to make much of a difference, and aiming has no summoners, does take a lot of HP off of Diablo, and Showmaker will finish that off, but Showmaker, I'm sorry friend, that is a one-way trip. Ultimate onto himself. Teleport coming in from Jack. Shiva has the ultimate, and maybe DK just think we can brawl. Of course they can. They're D plus Kia. Shu will teleport in, saving Showmaker's life. Ends up being, what, 3 for 2, all things said and done? I think it was Diablo and Kellen both dying there. They were the casualties of BFX. Does mean that the feats of strength... oh, no, it doesn't matter because the kill's already been taken, but ignore me on that one. So Lucid caught out here, wrapped a ton of damage onto him. They try and take as much damage away from the early game Xin Zhao pick as possible. Kellen and Beryl traded off. Great charm over the wall. I missed that onto Victor, actually. Focus on the rest of the fight. Great trap, which ends up taking Diablo down to basically 0 HP. But then again, Showmaker having to go in, use the flash. It's a pretty hefty price for him. I say pretty. Yeah, I mean, Flashless Ender is kind of important. Herald summoned up in mid lane. I'll try to get as much CC onto it as possible. We'll charge in now. Delay it a little bit. Dragon taken by DK.
而且这个龙的速率是帮他们在拖时间的，他这个阵容也可以接受给你往后拖呀。他贾克斯和女警越往后期成长曲线也是越高的。
对，就 BFX 这个阵容是个倒 U，DK 是个 U， 就只要挺过中期，这 DK 又开始走高。哇，但是就是你看这段时间，你们这个赛恩就作威作福呀，因为右边没有人能打得动这个赛恩，他们队伍的 AP 输出又是个冰女。 他就只用怼那个护甲就可以了。是的。
So, games within 2,000 gold, BFX with the advantage. Reminder, they have the 3 grubs, so if it comes to trading, BFX will do better in the cross-map. In trading is in, like, you know, cross-mapping. One team starts pushing bot lane, the other one starts pushing top lane, etc.
对抗能力，我感觉巨魔也是优于赵信的。对啊，就这英雄是有点不讲道理的英雄。
I do wonder whether they'll keep... One of the biggest changes that League goes through every season is effectively one of the objectives gets changed, or more. We had Grubs this year and Atacon. They got changed a fair amount. Hang on a second, big fight potentially happening on the top side. Teleport's coming in. Ult's coming through. Beryl gets some CC. Here comes the Rel as well. How much can Diablo do over the wall? He's caught out by Lucid, but he has enough HP, and I think he'll just about outplay. Massive fight for BNK Fearex as DK cannot back up that engage, and they get caught out. How many dead? Is that 3 total? Yeah, 3 for none.
而且说了，这段时间是需要沉淀的时间。艾米被减速到了，艾米要倒在2塔了，而且康纳的克林并没有被换掉。
Caitlyn dying as well, as I replied to a text from my mother. I try not to leave them too long. That's gone start up by Fearex to the top side. Right, 4 for none that. And Fearex just playing through their comp a lot better this time. It really felt like against the last time against D plus Gear, it just kind of devolved into just a real mess where they couldn't quite outplay D plus Gear, but we were just outplaying them. Whoa, going over to BNK Fearex.
我发现郭哥看好 BFX 的概率有点高。 经常那个打一半他就跑到 BFX 那边去了，
说明他懂游戏。
行。
This was how it started off at first. Teleport in. Tried to go for a slap back, I suppose, did D plus Kier. But they don't have Jax at the start of the fight. Showmaker doesn't get to, you know, get a big impact in the fight either. Aiming's not doing a ton of damage because he's afraid of the engage coming through from the Vi or something. Now, DK are on soul point. That's their win condition now. But are they close enough in gold to make it work? They have 2 items. On the other side, they're getting towards 2.5 to 3 items. Diablo has a QSS, importantly, too. So he'll be able to get out of that Lysandra ultimate, which is very important for this combo. Can they somehow get themselves the big objective? That's the big thing. Ooh, good damage there. Jesus! Aiming flying over the wall. And this is the problem with Caitlyn into the Vi. Flashes away. Diablo flashing forwards. And the Caitlyn's down. That is the problem with the pick. Lucid, good damage onto Diablo now. Kellen's died as well. Have they gone too deep? Lucid getting some damage denied by that Crescent Guard. Showmaker going on to Victor. Has used his ult, actually, just as we were talking about it. BFX doing a pretty good job in the fight, taking down 3 for 1. Not a bad slap back by Lucid trying to damage out Diablo, but they just don't have the damage anymore. Aiming, getting too close to Vi, and I say that as though it's like something you can control all the time. This is the problem with picking Caitlyn into a hard dive draft. They didn't get that much out of the early game. And now they're just getting dove on cooldown. Minutes all the dragon. I doubt the DK will be able to fight for that.
现在左边那个位见到人就 Q R， 就赢了。
只要不锁兵女锁谁都行。
Yes, yes, yes. There are many arcane comments to be made about Vi and Caitlyn. Yes, I see them. Don't you worry.
防御之王现在是，肉是真的肉啊，
但有什么用
？Just stepped on a water bottle as I was saying that. Good stuff,
对
mate.
啊，对于修飞格来说，我说实话，左边最不会开的就是他。
有本事等到我许个3件套。
来，许个第3件出个啥？
法传棒啊！
I hecking love arcane. Ugh, what a show. Showmaker caught on the side lane. Vi's coming up. He does have an ult to avoid summoner, though. I don't think it's going to matter too much. W for a little bit of damage. In the 1v2, not bad actually with the Sulfur. And now they're going for a fight while the mid jungle is distracted on top side. It's not going to matter too much, though. I don't think they have enough damage. Diablo just putting down the hurt. 3 kills as they try and look for a split fight. Can't manage it. And that ends up being a 4 for none across the map.
就连续3波的对抗，导致 DK 真的经济越拉越大，这个窟窿。
BFX, really good use of this combo. It's pretty cookie cutter, right? You know, the Caitlyn gets dove onto by the Vi, the Kai'Sa follows, the Ahri follows. The Rel can start the engage too if you need to. You have jungle support starting the plays and then the carries following. It's pretty easy. Everyone can dive forwards, makes it a very coherent draft. This has not been a close game. DK are not going to be able to get towards the dragon at all. She was doing some good damage. Hang on a second. Gets flapped over the shoulder. He'll go down after overextending in that bot side. Tried to pick up some gold from the side lane. Dragon started by BFX. They'll get their first game of the day. They were being dragon conservationists up until this point. You know, poor dragons. Endangered species, I'd imagine. Hunted for their buffs. It's not quite Ivory. Something a little different than that. But you can understand why people start hunting dragons. Sadly so. So their mid lane is caught out on the top side of the D+ game. The logic is we'll go for a big fight now because our mid lane is top side. But it's not like Jax is there either. So they buy into a 3v3 which they lose. I suppose this is what to expect when they're flaming Ahri's build. Look, I'm just saying. Look, Victor is 405. The build has not led to this point. Objective value on top side for D+ gear. He's gone for the Horizon Focus second, going for the cooldown reduction, which you miss out on. Of course, the stat stick of this item is kind of insane. We saw a little bit this on Victor, Orianna, and I guess now Ahri as well. This is the Battle Mage build now, where you get the HP and the mana from Rod of Ages. Stops you getting one shot, and then you pick up the cooldown reduction and a bit of the damage you lose out on later with the Horizon Focus. Oh, I already missed Chronicler? Me too. Chronicler he's an icon. Love that guy. And plus he's just a good bloke. He's a very nice man. He's very, very kind. Scion charging up the Q in the bush. Diablo has a ton of damage on objectives. Now has the Terminus third, so he gets the better AD carry DPS of the on-hit. Baron down to half HP, Charm across the side. Shu, I think he's not long for this world, and neither is the other side of the fight. Though that being said, Raptor's quite low. Manages to escape, Shu can't take him down, and now the fight starts again. Great flank angle from Victor, who gets the Charm over the wall and the Q to follow as well. Showmaker, I think all this is a glacial prison for your whole team, mate. Put a tombstone on top of it. R.I.P. DK losing out almost their entire team. Just Lucid left alive. 4 for none. Well, D+ gear didn't do what Nymaera told them to keep Ahri down. Yeah. I mean, the thing about this build with the Rod of Ages Ahri is that you really want to deny the Ahri ultimate and then make plays while the ult's on cooldown because you have lower cooldown ultimates than the Ahri. Hasn't happened in this game, right? Chronicler still has World Seal? Yes, he does. Great play here from Victor on the side, by the way. Good mechanical play from him. I enjoy watching pro Ahri players find creative angles. That's one of the most important skill sets in the Ahri. Use the extra resets to get the extra mobility to get into a different position. Loses quad out in the enemy jungle. This game has fallen apart a long time ago for D+ gear. D+ gear, of course, only lost games to Weibo at this tournament. They lost 0-2 to Weibo. They didn't lose a single other game, I believe. Don't think they lost a single game to JDG, although it was close at points. And they didn't lose anything to Garm either.
爱咋咋地吧的那种。
对，而且右边的阵容是一个反开能力。
Diablo casually 10-1 and 7, by the way. As in many BFX games, once you get round to the point where they can teamfight, Diablo is so good at putting out damage and just consistently getting onto targets that his KDA just skyrockets around teamfights.
玩的也不好，在不该接驾的那段时间频繁的打架，就是20分钟开始，然后打了几波不该打的小团，是就打崩了。
这把。
I've also really enjoyed watching Raptor's Vi at this tournament. His Vi has been very solid.
现在这个塞恩进来，在人群里面游泳。大川都还没出来呀 ，Amy。
Pushing into the base now, BFX, of course, having the last of that Baron buff, trying to break open one of these lanes. Having the 3 grubs helps with that too. Sion pushing bot side, he can ult up towards the top side of the map as and when he wants to.
那现在只打得动瑞尔。
Diablo, of course, can fly across the map with the rank 3 Kaiser ultimate now being level 17, which is really, really important, actually, because it means that when you're pushing into all these inhibitor turrets, you can basically fly from the bot lane inhibitor turret to the top lane one with the extended range. Charm! Great angle from Vikla. Extra engage coming through afterwards. Why not? Beryl dies after popping the Blossom. Finds nothing there. Showmaker uses his ultimate, but again, it's just feeling a little bit more like a funeral for himself. Shiru trying to clean something up, flashing past the Q of the Scion, and it just won't matter. Clean game from BFX. They had the better combo. They used it well. D plus gear needed to win early. Couldn't quite manage it. Claire flashes forwards jubilantly. With a flash and some flair. BNK Fearex will even up the series in this best of 5 1-1. It's now a glorified best of 3.
BFX， 我这把只能说从 BP 到游戏内容啊 ，DK 就俩字儿 ，QU。
主要 DK 的，就是他的想法，
就巴德是可以帮忙去 A 两下兵，然后 Q 你一下被动。
That is a hell of a completionist run there, though, Katari. Tell you what, the best katana set I had was the one from beating the optional side boss, though. That was so cool. The Takazo, the Unrivaled questline. Very, very cool.
就不再是以前那种，就说，哎，我上来就踹一脚，就除了踹一脚之外，一点用没有那种。
Onto the map we go.
现在的盲僧打团确实有画面，经常会有那种就是感觉你怎么打都打不死他那种盲僧存在。
那个就是肥的战士僧嘛，就感觉现在那个焚天这个装备改变战士的。
Showmaker in his own TF skin. Very cool.
用上了自己的皮肤吗？哎。
皮肤出战，现在。
Go on top of the mountain. Yes. Takazo the Unrivaled. Good side boss. I got very lucky on his boss fight. Got it like second time somehow.
这次亚妖里面的冠军选手真不少，
哎，好多有皮肤的。所以我们小型世界赛啊，也都是一堆冠军来打的。
Interesting seeing how the bot lane will go in terms of look, level 1 probably going to get won by the Ezreal Bard. Then the level 2, level 3 gets a little bit different. In the Misfortune, once you get a couple of double ups in, you get the ability to control the wave a little easier. Starts to unlock more fighting potential. Trades very hard. In fact, we might see a level 1 trade on bot side. Just looking by things there. TF LeBlanc in mid lane, of course. Very fun matchup there too. One which we've seen all the way back since like Season 3, Season 4.
然后 W 上来 A 你一下，这种掉血掉的其实也蛮多的。
猛然冲击现在神级天赋。
Stream looks extremely HD, very cool. It's because it's... Okay, so the reason for... Hang on a second, we've got a fight going on a little bit here. He'll use to potentially get in range. Eclipse start from Beryl, so the W start to wipe off some more of that poke. Hits the level 2 now. Xenoblade misses. Pops the Eclipse as well. Tanks things up. Diablo Kellen winning the early trades in the way that we thought they might do. Really feels like level 3, level 4. That's when things start to get a little better. Vikla missing the W onto the Q pop. Do you need to play Ghost of Tsushima for Ghost of Yotei? No, it's a standalone sequel. I will say I think Tsushima has... There's like 1 or 2 callouts to Tsushima, not many, but it's completely standalone. Showmaker playing against one of his most famous champions in the LeBlanc, while playing one of his other most famous champions, the one who got the world skin on the TF. Stream looks extremely HD. Yeah, so yeah, this is I think they have some things to kind of like increase the resolution on the Chinese side. I think they like artificially enhance the graphics of it. So the graphics can sometimes look a little bit sharp in weird points, but it does make it quite HD. It's pretty cool. Sadly, no clean feed for this event, so we didn't get access to that. But hey, it's fun to sit and hear bits and pieces of the Chinese casting, even though I can't understand it. Nice to hear their energy. And hear how they react, of course, to God Guo, the Grasshopper. Raptor landing a Q onto the mini dog, not the big one though. Not the most explosive early game so far. We've had, you know, 1 kill in 10 minutes a lot of the time. Is it possible to increase game value while reducing the cast the Chinese for casting? No, that's the problem without having the Chinese... Hang on a second. Gaming is going to get queued by the Lee Sin. Beryl trying to block it. Yet sadly can't do anything about the Chinese casting. There's no clean feed. That's what it means when there's no clean feed. There's no cast-free audio. Normally I do it with completely clean feed, so it's just game sound, and we do get that from the Chinese production themselves. But yeah, will you stream T1IG? Yes, because luckily Sam and I got World's co-streaming rights. It's very, very cool, so you'll be able to catch all the world stuff on these channels. We'll be chilling out. We won't be doing a proper cast. We'll be using the official broadcast in the background and listening to them and taking in their knowledge as well. But we will be here chilling out, and you can come spend some time with us as Worlds goes on. I'm very excited to do that. It's a very big blessing and a bonus to be able to do that. Very rare opportunity. Still no kills at this point, 5 minutes in. I thought there might be some, given the fact that we have Lee Sin and a quite active bot lane. I did wonder whether we'd see some heavy 2v2 action in the Lee Sin trying to gank them. Q3 of the Antofo strikes. Strike 3 and you're out. Clear. Not bad. Getting the W bop onto it. Actually, might even be able to force a flash here, you know. If the Q3 hits, it doesn't. Shiwu turning things around with a flame spitter. Another Q missing. Ooh, flashing away for Electro Harpoon because he's afraid about the magic resist shred and then the overheat after. It's a flash down from Clear. Shiwu is surviving what was actually quite a dangerous situation there. The overlay's not updated. Yeah, it's a little bit late. So the overlay's a little bit delayed, folks. Ooh, Diablo missing that E. Now is down. Lucid's coming in. Ooh, Zenith Blade coming through. That's a magical journey. Alright. Kellen losing the flash and a bunch of HP. And you can see, again, once you start hitting like the level 3, level 4 mark, then the MF Leona starts to really threaten. The MF's base damages in lane are kind of disgusting. Started with the cull as well, matching the scaling of the tier from Yezreal, the stacking items. Teleport back into mid lane from Vikla. Raptor going down towards bot side. Will spot Lucid on the dragon. Will he interrupt it though? LeBlanc coming down, has level 6. TF also has level 6 and has the ignite. He's walking into a bard though, and that could be a problem. Chain lands. Not enough to get a full kill or a particularly heavy trade even. That's a little better. Gets himself the electrocute there too onto Showmaker. What this does do is Showmaker walking over, buys time for the dragon to be completed. Clear got some alone time on top side. Rumble did come down to the play to secure the dragon. So the trade is effectively dragon for top lane lead for Clear. He gets an extra wave and a plate in top side. He's going to proxy the next wave actually. Which team am I going to support at coming Worlds? It's really hard to choose. I love my LPL teams, but we'll see how well they're doing, really. I mean, I do really want to see... I think IG or BLG I would quite like to see. Hang on, Raptor caught up by a Zenith Blade. Stunned up as well. Equalizer comes in, flash away, and a gold card onto the burning carpet. A red carpet for the premier kill of the game. First blood to D plus Kier. Yeah, I would love to see either... I think I'd love to see Knight or Chovy win Worlds, or IG just pull off a miracle run. I think those are probably the 3 things which I think are best for the scene. I think if an LPL team wins, like, LPL financially benefits a lot more. Ooh, I'll trade for all. Good wave clear there from Amy.
BFX 的小龙节奏。是的，牺牲小我成全大我，而且同时团队也为他补回来了很多。
Oh, gonna have to get myself some more coffee. I only had the one today. Keep yourself hydrated, folks.
吃了再说。
Best for the scene is an LEC team winning? No, I think LPL is financially really in an awkward spot right now if you look at the way that they've had to approach this year. LPL team winning would be very important, not just for the Chinese fans, which are a very large fan base, but also financially for the LPL. And also, I'd like an LPL broadcast back. Really? One kill in 8 minutes. Fickler? Gold card not going to fly back at him. Kellen. Magical journeying away from the Zenith Blade of Beryl. Wait, is Beryl... Hang on. Is Beryl using his own skin? I'm not sure he is, actually. Smite by Raptor. We'll take the red buff and out. Yeah, I find it quite funny how Beryl doesn't use his own Leona skin. He made it to be like his waifu from a gacha game, Princess Connect. And it didn't look enough like them. So I'm pretty sure he uses the Battle Academia skin instead. Oh, God. Which is, I just find that very funny. Hang on, 2 chains, famous rapper in the mid lane. Ooh, turret shot back. Lucid, I was wondering actually if Lucid would go for an ult there, you know? Flash ult to get in range. See if Fickler flashes away. His W was down and his R, of course. Use that for the second chain. Zenith Blade missing.
然后现在时光杖还是太厉害了，削完了以后适用于大部分法师，
但我觉得不适用于冰女。我觉得冰女出这玩意儿还是有点。
Showmaker one last gold card. Magical journey away. Kellen using them quite well to avoid CC. Thought you were an LTA believer? Look, I like Inspired. I think he's a very good player. I will say, I think you'll find it a little harder to find FlyQuest fans after the latest stuff that happened in this split, though. I think they cashed in and spent a lot of their goodwill with the fan base. Oh god. I put CFO in my top 8 for fun. CFO are a very good team. I like CFO. Funnily enough, I also did... Oh, by the way, we just hit 9,500 followers on Twitch. Congratulations, everyone. You're part of the crew. Part of the ship, part of the crew. I think that... I think CFO are a good team. I really do like them. I did do a tier list on stream for World's teams. It was a little bit quick, but I think I explained my reasoning well enough, particularly for the LPL teams, and why I put them where they were. I like CFO. I think CFO are a good team. I very much enjoy watching Ginger and Hong Q. That's a magical journey towards topside. Kick almost away from the tower. I think it'll be enough damage anyway. Extra turret shot comes in. Is close on Raptor, but not quite enough. Second turret shot onto Clear. Doesn't get the kill there either. BFX, clean kill and out. Shiwu, no ult, no flash. BFX walk away with a kill. Diablo under turret. Getting some good damage onto Beryl. Gonna throw a Q back or full bullet time. There's no escape this time. Diablo had flash. Chose not to use it. I think he was dead to right step. Filled full of lead. And Diablo goes down 1 for 1 across the map. I can't wait for Worlds to start already, actually. I just need to get it. I need to get it started. World season is a very important time of year. It's a very cool time of year. Dragon up in a handful of seconds. DK took the first, and they took the 3 grubs, so they're completely on the objective board right now. Lilo. Clear a little bit ahead of Shiwu's Rumble right now. Has the Kaernic Rookern built up for the occasional shield. Is there going to be a fight over this? Clear does have the all-out. The wave's behind him as well. Drags him into the river. Remember, there's no flash on Shiwu. That could be a problem. I think he's going to be going all out of HP as Shiwu. As Clear pulls the ult, drags him through the wards. Not bad sidestepping, but I just don't think it's enough. Kasante solo kill for Clear onto the flashless Rumble. D+ will start the Dragon on the other side. Clear can't teleport in. Beryl going in onto Raptor. Dragon taken. No ult for aiming to really threaten here. Beryl needs to flash away, actually, from the chain. Diablo doesn't have cleanse or ult now, but I don't think that'll matter too much. Solar Flare is not bad. Aiming, still no bullet time, which does impact things. Kick onto Lucid. No kills for BFX, despite them having a decent amount of damage in place. Gold card. Going forwards. Ult now going in from the Neferi. That's way too far, Lucid. Or maybe not. Flashes backwards. Proves me a liar. And another chain comes in for the CC. Showmaker gets the gold card. Kill onto the Neferi. Vikla just about escapes some smoke and mirrors. Makes this into what? A 2 for 1 totally? Some people talking about Mkoi over in Onivia's chat as well. I think my take on Mkoi, as someone that did cast a lot of LEC as well, is I think Alvaro's not been on fantastic form recently. If you watched him play throughout, particularly the finals versus G2, Alvaro is very important to Mkoi. And I think that Mkoi, even last year, had some great moments when Alvaro was playing very well at Worlds. So I think if Alvaro turns up, I think that they'll be in the equation, but they do need Alvaro to turn up. I think the rest of the team is actually on pretty good form.
回城被断，然后自己还被杀了，然后艾米直接掏了把医血剑出来，然后落位变慢，就一切的一切都是。
So we'll see what happens with individual form. This is the fight in the river again. I was yeah, pretty surprised to see Beryl not get blown up there, and Lucid here too, but he managed to get away from the chain. This is the power of the gold card though, isn't it? Just instant ability to force them to back off or fight. Second gold card, landing onto the Ezreal. Neferi got the reset. Good burst back from Vikla, understanding his damage limits, and then also getting out, not getting hit by cards on the way out.
还好是出的水银鞋啊，不是水银鞋感觉也死了。但 DK 现在手握2条龙哦，虽然来到了 BFX 阵容可以慢慢找机会的时候，但前面 DK 的战术指标已经全部完成了。
Oh, apparently 957 said that TJ Esports gave a warning, which is one of the TOs for the Chinese region, gave a warning to the Chinese representatives for not taking the tournament seriously. Wow. That's something. Because we were saying, look, well, no, we've been hearing that maybe they weren't taking it as seriously, but, you know, the Chinese community won't stand for that. That's a hell of a reprimand if that is actually true, though. Damn, that's sure something. Gregerson saying that over in Twitch chat. So that's from 957, who's an ex-pro player and now a streamer and personality. Herald now started up here on the top side by, well, is it properly started? Yeah, it is. Okay, Lucy's going to go towards that. Feats of strength were earned by DK by getting the kills and the objectives. Got 2 dragons in the grubs. Jumping out of the pit now. Beryl going across the magical journey first. Not quite get... Hang on a second. The bullet time is pretty well placed there. Kellen didn't have enough to get out. Couldn't find a way out of that problem. Redemption coming down. A bit of healing. Will keep Beryl high HP. You can see that BFX, while they're quite a mobile team, there's so much move speed... not move speed. So much lockdown and random long-range damage from D+ Gear that the mobility just isn't saving them.
边线威克拉也奈何不了这个卡牌啊。
他现在就是修 maker 只是忌惮一下盲僧的位置。
Now Raptor will take over the Herald duties here. Of course, DK were starting the Herald just before, peeled off of it to get that kill onto Kellen. Not going to contest now. Lucid ahead a level onto Raptor. Raptor does have the kick. BFX now bringing multiple people into the play. Clear, it's pretty strong. 1,000 gold up on the Rumble. TF coming in. Where's the gold card go? He's loaded it up. Also on someone important. Shiva coming around. Does have the equalizer and the Leandry's. Not bad there. 2-man ultimate just missing Kellen. Raptor trying to shut him down. The Rumble flank is a good angle. Vikla, where's his damage? He needs to start putting something in soon. He's trapped a little bit in the pit. Might have to W away. DK using a lot of ultimates, not finding a huge amount of value. Do you have the solar flare back? BFX losing some HP, but not their lives. I think with that, actually, DK, they really want to wait until the bullet time comes back up. If they can play around the solar flare bullet time, I think that's fine. Can they stop a recall? Yes, they can. Vikla not able to get a clean reset, and Kellen still no flash. Does have the ultimate. He's going to die again. Kellen has been pretty good at surviving the early game, and now he's just been picked off 2 times in just as many minutes. Redemption comes back off a cooldown. It'll heal them up again. D+ Gear basically just using this Herald as a watering hole. They know that BFX will turn back up to it, and they can get another free kill. Everyone's got to go to it. They won't even take the objective again. They'll reset. Dragon's up on the other side of the map. They'd rather fight for that. Bullet time is back up and available for aiming, so we can use that the next time he finds a good angle. Double chain trade from Vikla's not bad on Showmaker. Just teleported back in towards bot side. Bit of a problem for him, actually. Shouldn't have taken that heavy trade. They might end up giving over the dragon here. They're a little late to the start of this. MF walking out of base. She with no teleport. Players coming down. I mean, Lucid will be in position for a steal. But they're going to have to retake the pit. This is a tactical shooter now. About retaking the objective site. Aiming. Has that bullet time. He's the most powerful person there right now. Has flash. Has he's hit by the Bard. Oh, doesn't get hit by the Bard Q, but will still flash out. Lucid may die for this. Vikla popping back. Gold card from Showmaker. Loaded up. Managed to kill the jungler. No smite on the table now from D+. They'll need to get themselves a good fight, because they can't get the smite steal. Diablo, not bad damage there. Failed fight from D+. They were a little late on the reset, BFX. Good of them to hold the objective pit, take down the jungler, make it not about a smite fight, get better objective setup for themselves. On the other side, DK might end up getting the Herald now. They'll start it up. Raptor respawning. Not Raptor, sorry. Lucid respawning in 10 seconds.
他有点贪了，对，他其实这波小龙落位比 BFX 慢了很多很多。
就他们前面几波都打赢了之后，他们觉得好像可以捏一捏 BFX。
Raptor going towards enemy Krugs. Seeing some chat about Jojo versus Caps as well. I think Jojo is a better laner than Caps at the end of the split. But I think Caps is better in team fights and elsewise. But I don't think you can argue that Jojo wasn't a better laner than Caps. He was solo killing him. Caps, yeah. Caps wasn't mega in finals. Hang on a second. That'll stop the recall there. Vikla cancels it himself. TFL used. Ah, he's going to go into the brush. Gold card. Not thrown out. Doesn't have the fire cannon yet. Going for the Rod of Ages into the Lich Bane. Tried to stop the recall again. And God, they really just want to stop that recall, huh? Solar Flare used that time. Flare trying to bop Shua out of tower. Can't quite manage it. Herald taking him. Tower taking him bot side. Lucid. Still has his W. Should still be safe. Good amount of damage onto him though. Sundered Sky Lucid, by the way, not the Eclipse. Cole stacked in for aiming, by the way, which is... Oh my god, he's 2k up on Diablo. Damn, that Ezreal has not been having the easiest time, eh? Blue buff shared over towards aiming, kind of important for the Misfortune. Kind of replaces what you'd normally have with the Essence Reaver before. Herald has been delayed so long, will finally be taken by TK. One of the things about Baron spawning later is that Herald will stay alive for a little longer. They'll take the eye, maybe use that to break down mid lane outer turret. They do have the 3 grubs already. No TF ult from Showmaker to make a big play right now, but they do have the MF Leona ults, which are really threatening for BFX. I think BFX needs to be very careful taking fights into the Solar Flare bullet time. That's how they lose a kill very quickly. There's a lot of damage behind them. Aiming's going towards the Infinity Edge second as well for... and that'll be a crazy spike, because of course the Misfortune ultimate can also crit. He even said if ASI is organized by streaming platforms, TJ... Oh, hang on. Okay, so basically there was some extra context for 957 talking about the ASI from the Chinese perspective. Some talk about the IG T1 series in Onivia's chat as well, and saying that, you know, IG aren't looking good enough for T1 right now. That's true, but I think that IG are a very flippy team. There's a chance that they come back into form if Rookie somehow gets an international buff rather than a playoffs debuff. I think that'll be a huge change in form. First game's on the new patch. Let little scrim time, no tape on this current patch from pro stuff. The Shy is actually a very good laner right now. I think he's had a very good year. I think IG could high roll. I mean, I think I'd still probably favor T1, but IG could definitely high roll. It's not a done series. BFX really looking for the poke here, more than just the poke. Good damage onto Lucid there. Muramana not quite built up for the Ezreal yet, but he's still stinging all the same. Gold card loaded up, put onto the Lee Sin. Raptor follows over as the gold card went onto the LeBlanc instead. Rather, that's not... Oh, the Bard up. Not sure that's that helpful, actually. Just locks up Raptor in front of them. Another gold card coming through. Raptor flying forwards again. That is a playable time, Raptor. Bullet time is available for aiming. Flash forwards. Extra damage. Solo kill for the top laners as they fight off screen. Bullet time is good. Very nearly kills Kellen, but can't quite take him down. Diablo jumping forwards. Gold card onto the Ezreal with a cleanse. Takes away. It is so mobile. Back, forth, and back again. The auto attack comes through from aiming, and there's a teleport from the Rumble, who just solo killed the Cassante. Aiming takes out one, takes out a second, dies to LeBlanc as his dying breath. The flash over from Shiwu to try and follow Kellen. Oh, no, sorry, the Magical Journey. My apologies, not the flash there. Lucio will hop over, likely get the kill there, and somehow D+ here will out-skirmish BFX despite the mobility of the Foxes, very nearly netting them a huge victory. What were those health bars? That's a great question. Atacama will be earned from that. What were those health bars? So low HP. And you can see the threat of the love tap from Misfortune in the middle of these fights. This is a solo kill that we missed off screen. So that was just a load. I mean, I guess it was just a ton of flame spitters over time. A missed Q3, the harpoons going over and over and fighting on the equalizer. It's just a bunch, and a great flash over a Q3 there too. Very good harpoon accuracy. Flame spitter pretty much full DPS. Atacama was of course taken by DK there. Not the highest amount of petals for them, but it's an objective nonetheless. And now with the end of that, 2.7k lead for aiming, 1k lead for Lucid.
但现在打到现在这个局面下，就已经不是 BFX 这个阵容还强势那段时间。
Dragon now started. BFX won the last Dragon fight. Took 1 kill and the Dragon. It wasn't a huge win, but it was a win. Showmaker loading up the gold card. Has the ult. Where's he going? Ah, going behind them. No gold card now. Might come down to a smite fight. 4k. They have the bullet time to start dragging it lower if they need to. Ult onto Lee Sin, who takes it with the Q and the smites. Showmaker, when's his next gold card? Diablo flashing over the, Eing over the wall, rather. That's a all out. And the bottle is okay. I'm not sure it'll save clear. Maybe it will. He goes down all the same. Now there's a reset on the Neferi ultimate. That's not a great bullet time from aiming. Ult now down. Ezreal, good chunk across the team. Beryl too low to fight now, you'd assume. Showmaker, gold card loaded up. Herald was used in mid lane while this play was happening, so the mid lane turret falls at the same time. Dragon to BFX. Only the one death, but the tower's starting to fall to DK's favor. They'll be able to take themselves with the 3 grubs, a second turret. So while they don't get the dragon, a good amount of gold goes into pocket. This was the play. This was from ages ago, wasn't it? When did this start? Oh, this is a skirmish we had before. Yeah. So a lot of damage went down onto Lucid and Beryl as well. Raptors sees the free kill. Tries to get the kick onto Showmaker and a clean combo. The Bardol, somewhat anti-synergy there because Raptor can't follow up cleanly. Instead finds, look, there's a split fight. We can get a good play. Showmaker's going over this way with the ultimate. He repositions into the team. Bullet time's mega here, by the way. Could have got a free kill onto Kellen. Very, very close to that. Just look at the mobility. W forwards for the Q afterwards. Raptor gets a little outplayed by the Neferi W, though. Gets killed by the second Q over. Oh, Raptor, it looks fancy. But, oh, flash over the Q. I missed that one in live as well. Took Vikla popping over to get the final kill. He died for that. Oops, sorry, I punched my microphone. Sorry, microphone. Didn't mean to do that. And now suddenly the stream is paused because I punched my microphone. It'll start up soon, don't you worry. It'll start up soon. Just a little bit of lag on the stream. It'll probably pop forward again now since it's done that thing where it's buffered. 2 item spike for Diablo. A little bit behind aiming now though, who's, you know, 3k ahead. Goddamn. The biggest thing about that mid lane turret push is that now that D+ have themselves a really good map advantage for the next objectives, taking mid lane turrets really affects how you approach dragons and top side of the map as well. Well, okay, I'm seeing some stuff in chat about how, like, Chovy's not been playing great recently. Look, Chovy's not been peak Chovy, but, I mean, you look at things like his Vex in the game 5, which was absolutely absurd, where he just completely just carried that game. I think that there's a little bit of underrating on him, too. He's not definitely at peak levels, for sure. The guy's been still fantastic in a very unique way. No one's really running games from ahead like Chovy is still. Oh, jumping calls into Diablo. Gold card lands, even though the Bardol tried to stop the gold card. Hasn't helped enough. Kellen may well escape, and nope, he won't even be given that. Lucid has his ultimate reset charged up. Aiming, moving forward, further forwards as well. There's a recall from Vikla who realizes, look, the jig's up. We've got to get out of here. Top lane turret is still up. I don't think Raptor is surviving this one. Age of the Dinosaurs is over. And Velosa Jungler will go down. Baron started by D+ Kia. No one really to contest that now. A great pick onto Diablo. TF ult done is very well coordinated. I'm liking the TF Neferi duo actually. The way that D+ are playing it is basically saying, look, both of these players are going to be very coordinated. When the Neferi goes in, the TF is loaded up as well, so it'll make it easier to lock people down into a very long engage range. Very long engage range.
其实 Barrio 真的就是当他拿出那种老大爷心态的时候，他是真的会让你很烦很烦。
这把 Barrio 真的很厉害。
Dragon up in less than a minute. DK will look for their third. Hang on a second, Lucid. That could be a bit of an issue. Where's your W? He doesn't need it. Very close to going down for the last one. Now Vikla, how much extra cooldowns has he got? Bardol gets some extra time bought for Vikla to get his next cooldown out. Aiming onto the field. Lucid trying to heal off of Krugs before the big fight around Dragon. It's currently 4v5 in favor of BFX. Lucid healing up a little bit. Needs to recall. He's got 7 kills, but he's not going to be able to use them unless he gets back to the play. Good damage onto Vikla. Very good damage onto Vikla. 3.5 item misfortune is a terror for BFX. Pushing in towards mid lane, actually just forgoing the dragon entirely, saying, well, screw this. We have 3 grubs, got the Baron buff, why not push in mid lane? Inhib now broken open. BFX, they don't have the wave clear for this, and they're going to get poked out. There's a chance that the rapid fire cannon gold card just kill someone, straight up. Vikla, recall cancelled, under half HP, almost like a third, really. Cards flying across the team again. Lucid using those 3 grubs on the inner turret. Dragon completely ignored for now, and you understand why. Baron buff is nice. Vikla getting a good chunk onto Shiwu. Exhaust is going to wear off on the Lee Sin. Can he get the kill? Kick back, but there's no one to follow up. It's a layup for no one involved. Diablo dying as well to the last tick of the bullet time. And I think BFX have lost this game well and truly now. DK will take the lead in this series once more. They don't need a Dragon Soul. Towers will go down. Vikla trying to get some wave clear, but instead it'll be all of his HP, which is forfeit, alongside the Nexus turrets as well. One last minion will keep the tower debuff on, and they'll finish the game and go 2-1 up in the series in our finals best of 5.
这把打得严谨的 DK 就是看
Raptor 之前也耍过。
I think Annie can sometimes be threatened quite heavily by the Zoe, you know? Particularly ever since Zoe had the Q splash damage changes to get better wave clear. You can open up more angles to clear a wave, look for a long-range bubble, get a huge trade. DK Jayo indeed. Yeah, did you just Jayo them into death? Lucid, he a flash already. He's dead, he got hit by that hook. The pillar start, though. Oh my god, Lucid started pillar. Wait, was that a pillar start and death? He pillar started and died. Oh, Lucid, no, my son, that is not the way to start a game. I mean, that wasn't even me as a caster curse. That was the Chinese caster's caster curse. DK, Jayo. Oh, God. Maybe we should have the Chinese caster audio more. This shit's funny. Oh, God, Lucid. He's going to be starting with an E start with no flash. This is not going to be the best start in the world for Lucid. He still got hit, but how did he got hit by the Nautilus hook anyway? God, that's nasty. Why did he start pillar? I don't know whether it was to try and stop the Nautilus hook and not flash. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. Did he cast it after the Nautilus hook came through? Either way, it didn't work, and now he's starting as E, which is awful. He's probably going to have to smite on the first camp. He's on full vision on his first clear. Raptor was going to... I mean, Kiana clear is what, 304? Something like that? Incredibly fast. Especially for an AD jungler. Has the level 2 now for the Chomp, so he's a little bit more happy, but his first camp is so slowed down. Push in from aiming and from barrel. No surprise there. They have a Sivir. Sivir ricochets the wave and it disappears. This is why we saw Sivir Alistar coming up about halfway through Summer Split. Alistar was struggling before that because there were so many lane dominant duos which didn't really let him lane. There were Braum duos, there were Varus duos. Varus Jhin were really harsh to play against him. We still saw some hangover from Kalista Renata. And what Sivir did was to say, look, I'm going to clear the wave. You don't need to hit the wave, which is one of Alistar's worst things as a support anyway. You have 0 wave clear. 0 ability to control the wave and rush for like level 2 or anything. So Sivir just gets you through the early lane. And then you get the Sivir powering up the Alistar to jump forwards. Sivir kills so many minions in lane 2 in the remainder of the 2v2 that his passive is constantly being activated, the Triumph and Roar. Showmaker might need to do a bit of that whole flash thing. He's going to try and clear the wave, and he's going to walk up, get stunned, likely have a bunch of stuff flying to him as well. Flash for the staggering blows, doesn't even need to land the hook, and they'll give the kill to Raptor. Good 3-man play there from the Foxes in mid lane. Raptor, 2 kills now, 700 gold ahead. And I tell you what, Raptor's been having a good tournament for him. His Vi's been good. Now he's 2 kills up on a Trundle as a Kiana. He's pretty happy with that. Stop a recall here. Does that lead to a dive opportunity? Maybe it does, actually. Maybe not. Does have flash. Hasn't got his recall in just yet. Raptor, I think, would prefer just to go back and spend gold. Ooh, Clay gets himself a turret plate as well. Nice for him. Hi, how were the first 2 games? There were 3 games, Spaghetti. First game, very DK favored. They just kind of mechanically outplayed. Game 2, BFX had a very good draft, where they had just a very good Vi Kai'Sa dive comp, which DK tried to outplay, but were just bluntly outcomped, really. And BFX just out-team fought them as well. It was a very comprehensive game from BFX. And last game... that was the game that just happened, Alex. You should remember these things. There was a very fun TF Neferi game from D plus Gear. Some massively scrappy fights. That was probably our closest one so far. Very fun. But BFX have put up a good fight. Last game was actually pretty competitive. Although, I mean, aiming got very, very, very far ahead on a misfortune. This game... looking like BFX might bring us to 5, you know, folks. It's looking like it. Remember when Zoe could RNG a Redemption at level 2? You know the worst one? Redemption was kind of insane. You could get teleport dropping from minions. That was utterly absurd. And then the other one, which was really, really broken, was the Hextech Gunblade. Because the Gunblade had such high base damage, which didn't really count into the fact that you could get it at level 2, because it was meant to be like, oh, you'll buy it at like level 6 or 7 max, at like earliest, right? Even in the craziest of games, not even that. Like level 8 or 9 or something. You do just like a straight 200 damage with the activation, which is level 2, which is effectively a third of someone's HP, right? It's kind of insane. 300 base damage, that was it. Yeah, I knew it was kind of... Is this Worlds? This is not World Championship, I mean, no. So what this is kind of like the equivalent of, say, Europa League from football or soccer, if you're from the Americas, I guess. Where this is the teams which didn't make the World Championship from the Asian regions, so that would be Korea, China, and then the LCP, which is the Pacific region, Asia Pacific. And it's their kind of 4th, 5th, 6th best player teams, really. So it's the 5th, 6th, 7th seeds from the LCK and the LPL, which are China and Korea. And then the 4th and 5th seeds from the LCP, which in this case were both Vietnamese teams. This is the finals. This is our best of 5 between our 2 Korean teams, which were, funnily enough, the 2 teams which were in Group Rise from LCK, not Group Legend. It's been fun to see them match up again. Very scrappy, very aggressive in the team fights. The team fights have been very fun to watch. DK made it through the upper bracket. BFX got knocked out, not knocked down to the lower bracket by D plus Kia in the first round of the knockouts. Went through the lower bracket, taking out Weibo, then Nongshim. Fought their way back here for a rematch against D plus Kia. They've fought them now for the 2nd time here. Lucid potentially going up top, so I could get the pillar onto clear. Does have flash. Spotted out of the ward here. What am I reporting? The results of ASI? Yes, I am. Hell yeah. Someone in Onivia's chat was asking, what is this tournament? It's nice to remind people who've just filed in. People sometimes see finals and think, you know what, I want to know more about the rest of it, which I missed. And we can deliver. Bubble missing. They should get the LTA and LEC in this. If it's going to be online, you can't really do that. Because how do they, you know, geographically, the ping would just be too hard to balance at that point. It will be considered Worlds 2025 in our hearts. Yeah, yeah, because of God Guo's declarations, you know, God Guo, the grasshopper, predicting the games. This is now the World Championship for me. Slower early game after the initial kills again. We've had much more aggressive early games from other matchups in the tournament. Let everyone play with 300 ping? That would be quite funny, but... yeah. Raptor almost 1,000 gold ahead. He's going to get his profane Hydra very, very quickly. And my worry is that I don't think that DK can survive Raptor exploding the first target. I don't know what happens if they lose the first target so early on. I just don't think they have the tools to fight back from that. Yeah, exactly. Propane Hydra and propane-related accessories. Grub started by Lucid, gets the first one. Raptor, did say that they couldn't survive him getting... Oh, hang on, he gets bopped into the pillar, but the knockup doesn't happen. And he'll use his supreme display of talent to get out. The cast doesn't quite bop him far enough away, so he gets stuck on the pillar. They'll still likely get themselves 3 grubs as Raptor backs off. They get 2 of them. Do they get 3? Shiwu. Decent damage up there. Smite still available from Lucid. 3 grubs earned from DK. Vikla caught out, has no flash. And I think... Annie may have to ask the question, are you okay? Michael Jackson asked us that question many years ago, and actually, it turns out the answer is yes. Didn't expect that one with the flash. The Annie thought they'd be able to get out. Not get out, rather. The body blocking was fantastic. Showmaker will go down as well. 2 kills to BFX. How the heck did that work out? Vikla flashing forwards, caught out by the pillar, but the body block on the Zoe Q, I think, ended up saving him. I think Showmaker may have made a mistake by casting the Q the wrong direction initially, and it ended up being much easier to body block. Vikla ended up surviving. Showmaker went down. Second death of the game for him. 0 and 2 for both mid and jungle now. So flash away from the Annie Tibbers. Great play from Lucid. Gets away from the stun. The pillar comes up. Flashless Annie surely is just dead. Miss on the bubble. And then Showmaker here. Flashes forward, picking up some extra stuff. And then that Q there. That's a huge mistake. Just cast it straight into Kellen. Does it count as a body block if you cast it there initially? Big mistake from Showmaker. Last Q from Raptor picked up that last kill too. 3-0-1. He is so far ahead of Lucid. 1.3k up at 10 minutes. That's insane.
BFX 那左边只能等一下 aiming 了，好像没别的盼头了。但右边的阵容不是一个西维尔好发挥的阵容，右边是一个纯拉扯型的阵容，他不会让西维尔 A 到太多人的。
So now D plus Kier, failing the early skirmishes, 4 kills down, 2k down, 2.5k rather. They did get the grubs. Does D plus Kier say, right, we're going to trade the map? We've got 3 grubs, we'll kill turrets quicker. I wonder whether their option is we'll hard force on one side of the map, just kill towers really quickly, try and get some gold onto the Sivir, get the Sivir to scale up, and then we'll see what happens after. I don't think they want to take straight up fights. They're losing the straight up fights right now. Hang on, flash over. Beryl looking for Diablo. Maybe he has a flash himself. Flash away from the combo. Good disengage by Diablo. We can start using the ultimate and getting great AoE damage down. The Spark Surge. Great work onto that. A kill maybe for Raptor setup too. Put Beryl into the wall. And it is 3 kills to BFX as DK failed the dive. That is why they don't want to take straight up fights. Diablo outplays BNK Fearex get an even larger lead in the game. Folks, I think this is going to Silver Scrapes. I think we're going to game 5. It's a huge advantage now. Showmaker coming up towards top lane. Can he get the bubble? Yes, he can. Long range paddle start coming in. How much damage? Is a decent amount. Great kill from Showmaker Zoe onto Clear on the top side. The bubble through the wall, setting up a kill, and they're first to the game. 0-3 Lucid though, how do you come back from that? The level 1 starting with the E, not flashing the Nautilus hook, dying pretty unceremoniously. And then that bot lane dive failing for him as well. Lucid has just been kicked around this game. Raptor 4 kills for him, 2,000 gold up in 12 minutes. That's the kind of stuff you see in solo kill. Kill for Vikla as Shiro overstays in topside. Tried to use the 3 grubs to get plates up there. Instead has given, I don't know, a plate of gold to Vikla. I was trying to make a connection between plates and kills. Couldn't quite find it. 4,000 gold ahead. Considering that BFX were kind of blasted by DK in the first matchup, 0-2, outfought pretty much all the time. It's been a great glow up from BNK Fearex. Guys, how crazy would it be if BNK Fearex actually won this tournament, given, you know, the rest of the teams which were in there? DK, after starting the year so well, being denied even this second string tournament would be a kick in the teeth from them. Look, I like Fearex. They're a good team. They're a fun team to watch. Diablo is genuinely such an exciting player to watch. And Raptors had a great tournament too. But you would have thought they were coming in, you know, a step below DK.
想进攻下半区的镀层啊，但旁边已经有人在防守了，而且11级的奇亚娜，9级的巨魔，这个等级差太大了。奇亚娜还没有露头，但 DK 应该也不敢进攻了，一勾勾到了，但 Barrel 直接交大招，简单打个大。
No big plays coming out so far. Vikla hiding off a vision in top lane. I don't think he's really doing that much with it. Waiting for the next wave to come through. No one's on his side of the map. Atakan will be spawning top side. Okay. Stun landed from the cone. Ult in 5. Phase rush allows him to run further at him. Don't think there's really going to be a kill threat here though. Raptor on bot side. He has 2 items at 14 minutes. He's got 2 items at 14 minutes. Axiomark and the Profane Hydra. This is the real breakpoint for Qiyana. This is the huge, just full-on destruction. Because now what you can do is you can open up a fight with the, or even a pick with the Supreme Display of Talent. Hang on a second, he didn't actually get spotted there. Vikla going for the full-on kill. Flash away from Shiwu. Just about lives. 28 HP, I want to say. Shiwu makes it out, but God, it was close. Aiming will go and clear up the wave on top side. Clear will get the bot lane out to turrets, increasing the gold lead for BFX. Good game from Vikla. He's not had a great tournament, Vikla. Not really. He's been picked off an awful lot playing for... Hang on. Ooh, Aiming tried to mind game the spell shield, couldn't quite get it. This game's been good though, set up well by Raptor and Kellen in the early game, playing well in the side lanes. Herald started, finished quickly by DK, they get the objective. Oh, Raptor gets a 2-man ult onto the wall. No kills so far though. Fight continues, Showmaker jumps forwards, punished as he jumps back. 1 kill goes down, Diablo is dead, but where's the damage afterwards? What's the full trade going to be? Currently, I think 2 dead for the side of DK. As 3 make it out, 2 for 1, Herald secured by DK. Diablo dies. Diablo dies importantly so. Aiming picks up the kills, there's some gold onto the Sivir. That might be important. If Sivir gets fed, maybe they can play around the hyperscaling AD carry.
这里 Raptor 推了波好大，主要这个地形太利于他发挥了啊。然后挂虚弱 Q 起来，但正好这时候顶的时候出手了啊。然后你看许哥的飞星跟那个这边气泡也奔着那儿去的，空完了直接，沟通的不是很好。又见面喽。但安妮这把出的也是工具装，他应该是奔着冰杖去的。
This Profane Hydra Axiomark gold efficiency should have been nerfed for Worlds. What do you think? I mean, the build path isn't fantastic for the items. The build path is not fantastic, so I think it has its downsides. You need to get to this point, right? I don't think it's a problem that there are champions which like spike hard on 2 items, but then kind of struggle before that. Say struggle before that, but this is where it really picks up. That barrel cast was not it. I actually missed that in the replay. Oh my god, where did he go? Get back under the bridge, troll! Trundle dies! What the hell? So Dragon's gonna be free. Raptor's ult, you know, gets a bit of extra cooldown off of it because the Axiom Mark 2. Building towards his Cyrilda's next. Oh my god, Kiana is a fair champion when it gets ahead, right? Holy moly. Shiwu trying to push in top turret. Does have 3 grubs. Will help a little bit with the damage on it. I think they'll... Is there going to be enough people coming over? No, okay. With Showmaker coming over. Using the Stolen Flash, the Spell Thief, 3 grubs. They'll get the turret up here. And honestly, they should have been doing this all along. They should have been trying to hit these side lane turrets if possible. I don't think they should have taken the grouped up fights. Try and get uneven numbered fights. Trade side for side. Hope that Shiwu can just survive on weak side of the map while you gank the other one, maybe. Just chuck 4 members on one side of the map. Try and use these 3 grubs. I wonder if they've given up too much gold now. Just because this Kiana can just one-shot your carry. So dangerous. So dangerous. Aiming's on 2 items. If he reaches 3, that's probably the win condition for D+ Kia. Showmaker has some potential to fight around the 2-item spike coming up from his champion as well. See what the full build is, actually. Stopped off for a blasting one. Bubble is close there, actually. Shiwu might jump on to clear here. Not too far behind in gold, actually. Shock Blast misses. Rylai's almost in for Vikla, by the way, going for a little bit more utility HP build on the Annie. We used to see this a lot more when mythic item Rylai's, Leandri's was the thing, where you could get the burn off of the Annie Tibbers, and it would kind of go crazy, just permanently slowing someone into it. 3 dragons for BFX. I just don't know whether Amy's used the ult to get back towards mid lane to wave clear it more quickly. I just don't know whether DK can stop the Hextech Soul. I just don't know whether they can do it. Just what happens if someone randomly dies because Raptor just one-shots them? He's almost at Cyrilda. He's almost at 3 items at 20 minutes. 3 items at 20 minutes. That is absurd for a pro game of League of Legends. This is solo queue stats. Kellen looking for the hook, misses it. Killer's not bad, you know. I don't think they can follow on that bubble, though. They'll take the flash out of Kellen, and I guess they'll call that a small victory. You can't really overchase when, you know, Kiana is stood right next to the guy. Good play from BFX, actually. They've been moving around the map fairly well. Raptor's been a huge threat. D+ K have not been able to get free fights most places. Do we get a game 5 for finals? That'd be fitting. For what a fun tournament it is. Bubble lands. Luden's on shot. Hang on a second, Showmaker flashing away from the Kiana. Scary stuff. That would have been a full one-shot. We know that would be at that point. So fed. So far ahead of the rest of the map. Lucid currently 0 and 5, by the way. Stuck at the 1 item. This is one of the reasons I really am not a fan of... Remember, this was the Trundle first pick, folks. This was Trundle first pick. You tell me if it's been valuable or not. I'll tell you my opinion. No. Unless you're going to pick it with a tank to deny the Trundle kind of, you know, countering it. Limited application. I did think initially that, you know, they should have gone for like an AP jungler into it, but either way, the logic stands. You can do a lot of things to a blind pick Trundle. You can say, look, I'm not going to pick tanks. Your ult feels useless. Going to pick a ranged composition, and right here, there's quite a lot of slippery ranged targets, which you can't auto-attack well. The blind pick Trundle is very counterable. Diablo trying to wave clear out here with the 2 items. Auto-attack reset from him. Bit of poke. The 3 grubs will help him take this. Kellen does not have flash. And Diablo's been punted back. He'll get over the wall. The bubble just missing. Just missing. So close. So close. Showmaker very nearly getting a huge plate, because that would have been a kill onto Diablo just before the dragon spawned as well. I said just... Hang on a second. Managed to catch him there. The redemption. Oh my god, the redemption nearly kills. The redemption amped up by the damage of the bubble. Very nearly killed. Aiming just about surviving in mid lane 2. Dragon now up in 40 seconds. Diablo and Aiming both recalling. Diablo still has flash. Aiming used both of his summoners. That was so close. Showmaker on 2 items now. The Horizon Focus second item is a good stat stick for this point in the game. 30 seconds till it. Alistair no flash. Yep, very good point. Kellen still none on his too. The mid lane turret down does help. It helps the setup for the dragon. DK do get something which helps them for this. Aiming, does he get himself boots or Infinity Edge? No. Oh, yes, he does. He does. Okay, it was just a little bit delayed. He gets himself Infinity Edge. So 3 item civic for the fight. Vickler on the flank. Spots it out here. Vickler spotted. Vickler spotted. Does that change anything? He has flash. Oh my god, the bubble's onto him. Oh, and they lose the Annie immediately after. Oh, it's disaster. Oh, it's disaster. The cask isn't fantastic. But the Annie's gone. They've lost a lot of their setup, a lot of their teamfight AoE. Ult onto Shiru. It doesn't feel fantastic. They combo onto the third Kiana. He's put down into the sleep. Can they get redemption? Yes, they can. The 1,000 gold shot down onto Raptor. Oh, BFX. They failed their chance at the soul. Oh, it's heartbreak. BNK Fearex. Lose Vickler on the flank. Raptor caught out by a sleep. It's tragedy. It's tragedy. This game should have been theirs. It is a tragedy. The 3 grubs will help them pick up some extra towers across the map if they go towards them too. Oh dear god, BNK Fearex. It's Fry's group, baby. This game was in the palm of their hands. Shiwu, gonna hop over the wall, get a slow maybe with the barrel. No, flashed away from, but flashed down on clear as well. Gold is now within 2,000. Heartbreak. Vickler trying to go through creative flank angle. Spot, just hit by a pinpoint bubble there. Waited until the combo was set up. Dead Annie. Cask is searching, doesn't find that much really. And then I just don't get this from Raptor. What is the idea? He uses all of his mobility by using the W to the side there too. Can't use it backwards. Gets hit by another bubble from Showmaker. Showmaker's bubbles are insanity. Well, it turns out he won a world championship using this champion pretty well. Lucid, Old Sid, dead. Good cast from Shiwu. Beryl might die here. How much damage can Aiming do? The 3 item civic getting damage done. Does he have the flash? No. Diablo walking over the wall. This is the fight which BFX couldn't find at the dragon before. Showmaker gets another kill, but I think he'll die for it. That's going to be a full ace. Double kill over towards Diablo. That's what, a 5 for 2? Much better from Fearex. Much better. That'll lead them to the Atakan. I mean, they didn't get the soul. They do get the Atakan after. It's a consolation. It is a consolation. It's a good fight for them. Get the mid lane out of turret. The Atakan's not bad either. That being said, DK are the ones with all the flowers. They get all the petals. It's not the biggest thing for them either. They're not going to be able to get themselves the Baron after, I don't think. If they got Baron, that would have been the killer. All right, that's a bit of the Fry's group we were waiting for. So how did this start? Lucid walks up, sees the ward, does have flash, can't flash out in time, full CC'd. Beryl didn't have ult, so he died for free. Luckily, Aiming has a ton of damage, and Showmaker manages to get some things through there too. But a really awful start from the front line of B plus Kia. Lucid 0 and 6. Lucid, come on, Lucid. This is not it. This is not it from him.
现在左边的问题是西威尔有伤害，但是打不出来，
就压根没有那种让他能 A 的时间啊。
Aiming still very scary. The Sivir is very strong.
后来中路抱团了，然后左一这个英雄不能长时间在变现，他得来中路给压力，看能不能抽点奖。
DK now have to be really afraid of this Baron on the top side. Showmaker, 1 bubble could change everything. There's not like there's a cleanse on Diablo. Is there a cleanse on anyone? No, unless Kellen gets it from the spellbook. Misses it there. They can play a little bit slow. Scary. Problem with the Zoe jumping forwards. You know exactly where she's going to go back to. Bop onto Vickler. Doesn't have the flash, but the follow-up's not there. Redemption keeps aiming topped up. He can fight again now with that HP. Flash away from the hook. Would have dodged it anyway. Gragas down. BFX, good play. Playing around their long range of the Nautilus hook and the Jace. Good play there. BFX get 2. That might open up the Baron, you know. That might open up the Baron. Holding around the fog of war. Vikla spotted on the side. Lucid, not caught out by the hook this time. Vikla can just walk around, though, and I think this might be death number 7 for the Trundle. The blast going over towards him. Lucid, he's trying to get out. He's not even going to get close. He's not even going to get close. Lucid will die, and with the jungler dead, that's a free Baron for BFX. Not even close. One more Q will come through. Auto attack, whatever it is. Solo kill technically for Vikla with the extended chase down. BFX, surely that's a free run of Baron now, isn't it? Aiming, pushing out that top lane, trying to get that wave out. BFX finally started the Baron a little bit later, we'll say. Showmaker can teleport in. It's going down too quickly, though. I don't think there's going to be any contest on this. Easy take. Beryl walks around, sees it's going down, confirms it. Baron for BNK Fearax. Besides that one play at the Dragon just before this, it has been a very good game. Dominant from the early game. Great pickoffs by Raptor and by the rest of the crew. And Raptor's about to get GA. He might even get it on the next recall. Thought he might even get it there. Almost 4 items, 4.5k ahead. Raptor, an awesome tournament for him. I think that his Vi's been very good. His Kiana here has been exceptional. Dragon spawned, and that's going to make things even worse for D+ Gear. Baron into the Hextech Soul afterwards. QSS is there for aiming. I just don't think it'll matter, will it? I just don't think it'll matter. Hexgate used by Shiwu, and he's going to find an Annie on the other side. Whoa, hang on a second. Whoa, guys. Focus on the Dragon Pit. He stole the Dragon. That's not a free soul at all. Lucid goes in and steals the Dragon. No Hextech Soul for BFX. Shiwu's not even died yet. Okay. 0 and 8, but he does get the Dragon Steal. Do we forgive him, chat? Do we forgive him? Right. Is Shiwu gonna live here? Probably not. Going into the base. Baron buff, of course, still available for BNK Fearax. Diablo will walk up and get the free kill. Not gonna lie, I still think this is BFX likely ending the game in the next few minutes, because there's a couple of people dead. Lucid dies, Shiwu's died as well. Flashes in, gets the steal. Oh, Lucid. Fancy. Not sure it saves the game, because I think the game will still, you know, end here. Showmaker picks up that Protobelt off the floor. Deathcap soon in for him. Double hits. Not sure there's much follow-up, though. There isn't that much follow-up at all, besides a severe Q. Gragas can occasionally do some work there. Breaking the base. BFX, they don't need grubs for this. 1 inhibitor turret down in the mid lane. Bot lane is not being pushed in, but they are pushing in top lane at the same time. Zeri W is a really hellish poke at this point. Of course, the Jace too. Ooh, good damage there onto Diablo. Of course, again, he doesn't have the cleanse. Beryl going in, finding the Kiana. They get the jungler again. That's a lot of the damage gone. How much more do they get out of this? Vikla has flash. Can they stop him from anything? A bubble on the timing out of the Zhonya's. Beryl could go for a play on topside. Has himself the ultimate. Buys a lot of time. Redemption coming through. Will heal a little bit more. They're looking for the kill. They're looking for everything. Another bubble lands. Ult onto Showmaker. Has the ignite. How many do they get here? They've got 3. Diablo alive. He manages to survive through the play. Diablo not going to be denied. Pentakill for Diablo. Despite the opening, despite the awesome pick onto Raptor, Diablo, onto Rabble. God, the rest of the Rabble come through. Diablo, pentakill for the Zeri. The Zeri, which he's been so confident on throughout his career, will end off this game. It was a window of light quickly closed by BFX, and we will be going to 5 games. Well, there you go. A full 5 games for our finals. Our only best of 5 of the tournament. BFX bring us the distance. Correct or lying? One of the two. Man, this is what Fearless was made for, in fairness. This is what it was made for. That's morbid. I just want you to know the situation. I'm sure they'll elect a successor to God Gwar for next year. Walking at level 1, not spotting the ward there, and hang on a second. Oh my god. They didn't spot the ward with the sweeper. They didn't spot the ward with the sweeper. Blitzcrank, if he was closer, could have landed that hook and changed the whole fate of this game. Bloody hell. What happens to the Grasshopper after the tournament? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure where they got the Grasshopper from. I'm not sure where the Grasshopper will go. Oh my god, are they gonna try another invade? Showmaker was spotted there. Of course, Beryl has the level 1 hook as Pike as well with the Halo Blades. He needs to be a bit careful here. What if there's a late invader? What happens if there's a late invader? We don't see the vision. We don't see where they are. They're around the back. Lucid's walked around it too. There's a Halo Blade on the Pike. If the hook lands, he might die. It's so close. He fails the flash. 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 Aiming failed the flash. Raptor lives. He's gonna go back to base. There's a... Oh my god, the hook over the wall! It doesn't have... Oh god, no! Oh, aiming! He fails the flash for the kill. Walks in the position when you bloody know there might be a Blitzcrank hook. Rooted at the tower and he dies for first blood. Jesus Christ, this is a fearless game 5. If anyone needs a microcosm of what this tournament has been like, it has been this. Ultimate, absolute cinema. But for reasons which are far beyond me. Oh my god, aiming, my dude. You cannot walk like that. Hook onto Barrel. He doesn't have the E either. He's going to take a bunch of HP here. The hook's going to be fired back. It doesn't matter that it lands here now, I don't think, really. It's only the level 1 Corki. Damage is done. No, the thing is, Raptor is still very, very, very far behind. Aiming being behind is a big thing, but Lucid getting a full quadrant steal is disgusting. Lucid can recall. I think he can go to his top side now as well. Now protect those camps, and Raptor is so far behind. So the question is, aiming completely eating his arse off by pathing that back to lane, is that more important than Raptor being slowed so far down as clear and having no camps to take? Okay. Raptor gets himself all of his camps there. I just don't know, I mean, is he going to go towards his bot side and just go towards that steal there? How much does he get away from it, though? How many camps? Because he's currently down 3 camps on his bot side. Lucid could take 1 camp top side and then take the best of them. I take the rest of them. Wait, is he super leashing? I can't see exactly. Yeah, he's doing the super leash. So he's taking the Gromp and the blue buff at the same time. He should be able to walk towards bot side and take a camp back if he wants. He might look for double scuttle instead. Walking down towards... Is he walking down? Yeah, he's getting towards his top scuttle now. That's what he's doing. Raptor will get red buff because of that. I do wonder whether there's a fight over bot scuttle because of this. Lucid would really like to stop Raptor stealing all of his bot side camps. Red buff not taken yet. Raptor can smite this away if he needs to, but then he won't have smite for bot scuttle. Raptor's not full HP. Lucid is, and he's a level up. And there's no flash on Raptor. Wait, that could be a flash forward from Lucid. Hook over the wall. Does he have... He has his own flash. He should be safe here. I think he should be safe. Landing the hook, eating backwards. Raptor very low HP. He doesn't have flash. Lucid just kills him. Raptor spent too long taking the bot side camps. Of course he did. Diana's a very fast clear. Got towards bot side. And Raptor's died for a first time in this game. Didn't die at the level 1, but had no flash. Lucid is just turbo farming through the camps now. I wonder whether Raptor should have... So what happened here? So he spots Lucid. I mean, at the end of the day, Lucid could just flash forwards and kill him. Flashes forward, lands the Q, gets the E reset, stacks up his Conqueror, full death. No flash on Raptor to escape. Nasty. In mid lane, even between the Yasuo and the Akali. I don't know, folks. I think that the jungle advantage means more than aiming's terrible path back to lane at level 1. I think it means more. Remember when Diana was a mid laner? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I enjoyed playing mid lane Diana. Of course, way back in the day, back at Faker's First Worlds at Season 3, it was a mid laner back in 2013. And the dash was your ultimate, not your E. And then the kind of pull back towards you, that was your E. Beryl, threatening the hook. Another camp stolen away. Lucid is getting so much gold. And the problem with such a low-range game is that if Diana ever gets ult, it's so dead. Now flashing forwards, having the level 6 is Lucid, getting the Conqueror stacked, but no one's there quick enough. Showmaker's not level 6. Kellen, Vikler, and Raptor team up to take down Lucid. It's Kellen that gets the kill, unfortunately. Would have really liked that to go towards the Silas or the Akali. The Blitzcrank's not going to do much with that gold.
他前面都是先推先回的，应该不会漏兵才对啊。
威克塔那波是推干净才回的，那波炮车线。然后 Raptor 进去反动走 F6，然后许秀回来应该是掉经验了。
那为什么要带点燃呢？
那给对线威慑呀，这把不能输线呀。就 CV Max 下了死命令，这把 Lucy 的玩野。
Showmaker hits level 6 now. He's been pushing in the wave well, but how did Vikla get level 6 before Showmaker? I guess there must have been some XP lost or shared.
那没办法了。
Maybe Diana stole away some of the XP from previous plays by hanging around. I'm not sure. But Showmaker wasn't level 6, sadly, for that play. Couldn't really full commit there. Kellen roaming mid. Gwen switched to bot lane. Porky Pike top lane. Grub spawning in a minute. Oh, hang on a second. Kellen. Flash for the knockup. Hook back. E lands as well as Silas's. The triple play into mid lane. Showmaker, this is not the first time he's died by overextending mid. This has become a bit commonplace now, sadly, for him. Earlier in the tournament was Vikla that was falling to plays like that. Showmaker in finals, though. I don't know, folks. It's getting a little bit spooky now. I mean, the start of the game was Raptor falling ridiculously far behind. Was the jungle advantage going to determine the game? Then it became a question of, well, you know, aiming died. Would that affect things? I don't think that has, really. And now suddenly, mid-jungle's and the support is skirmishing so well for BFX. Gold is in the advantage for BFX. DK falling behind after what should have been a crushing level 1. Crushing level 1. Morning Mist. Good damage there. 10 CS up is Shu over Clear right now. I do think on the whole, Yorick is stronger than Gwen currently. Yorick feels like a stronger champion. Easier to play anyway. Hook onto a minion. Yeah, that'll show.
他勾的还不错啊，而且 Barrel 这个派克目前没什么说法。
Lucis stealing with another Raptors. Diana, one of the fastest clear speeds in the game when she actually gets rolling. Especially since her passive buffs came through again, where she just does a ridiculous amount of damage to Cramps. Typically needs a little bit of attack speed. Well, no. When you get attack speed, it's kind of crazy, rather. That's why Nash's Tooth was very, very big for a while. Because just getting the recurve bow gave you so much extra passive uptime. Grub's now started. Again, Diana pretty good at taking these with the AoE of that passive, going through all of them. Stacking up the Q as Yasuo onto all of the Grubs. We could get a big fight here. First one goes down, aiming going onto Vikla. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage onto Hook on to Showmaker. Where is the wind wall? Doesn't put it down right now. Raptor stealing at the Pike ultimate. He can get the extra gold from the kills. Watch Raptor. Everyone knows if you played ARAM how annoying this is, and he misses it. He misses it. Gets the E afterwards, though, and the root comes on to Lucid. Lucid activates the Yasuo. 1 kill onto the side of BFX right now, and 1 kill back for the side of D plus Kia. Beryl doesn't have the level 5. Will put the Ignite down, and Vikla will burn to it. Currently, 2 for 2 as things stand. I think we'll disengage after that. 2 grubs to 1 in favor of DK, 2 kills apiece. Raptor now at 2 kills. On the other side, Lucid before he died did manage to get the ult off, which allowed Showmaker the last breath combo. Didn't love the way the Raptor opened up with the Pike ultimate, but tried to get that gap closed. I just love using that Pike ult to get the resets on the Silas and try and get the extra gold. I suppose for the utility of getting close range, you understand it though. The wind wall. Ah, that's where it was. I actually missed the particle of it. Bit weird on that skin. Oh, is it the Ink Shadow one? Lucid sidestepped that one. Flash for the E confirm anyway. Full CC from Diablo with the double afterwards. 2-man ultimate from the Yasuo Diana. And what happened with Vikla here? Vikla, I think, probably could have lived there, by the way. He ate an extra auto, died. Gold within 1,000. Raptor is even in gold. He's even in gold. Down almost a... Well, he was down a lot of XP for a little while. We'll come back and... Oh, sorry. I was wrong about the 2 gross to 1. He'll get the 2 gross to 1 now. Maybe. Hang on. Lucid might smite it. 1 to the side of BFX. Vikla has no flash. Pike pulls him back. Now Beryl has no flash. And he has no E, and Beryl's going to die for the attempted pick. All right, Beryl. That one, a little bit awkward. Goes down to his first death of the game. Was 2-0 before that. BFX, quick, easy pick onto Beryl. Beryl is only good at melee supports. He was very good at his random range supports before. Also, technically speaking, Pike is a melee support. But if you in tank supports, I understand it. I do remember Beryl's Leona and Alistar probably most fondly. But yeah, he's had some good times at different other times too. Of course, his Rammus, his best champion, of course. Raptor is actually up in gold, yeah. Hell yeah, he is. Raptor's up in gold. Down a little bit of XP on Lucid, but this is the problem with something like Yasuo Diana, is that once you start not winning fights, the game Basically, Yasuo Diana needs to win fights and just chain them into victory. If you lose a fight as Yasuo Diana, the next combo is less likely to work. Of course it is. But with Yasuo Diana, you are so all or nothing. When you lose your first combo, it's a really, really bad sign.
节奏还没有彻底的断掉，因为这把小龙的速率是很慢的。
哎，不行就 Plan B 等格温吧，对于 DK 来讲，
也不是不行。但右边阵容，你说怕格温吗？好像不怕呀。
Lucid in bot side. Is Yasuo coming down? Yes. Always scary when the Diana and Yasuo are on the same screen, especially when both have flashes. Decent damage from Shiwu. Holy moly, great damage there. The needlework flash forward for the kill. Solo kill for Shiwu. The Gwen working out great. I was saying, oh, you know, I think Yorick feels like a better champion than Gwen right now, especially after the nerfs, what have you. It's not been picked that much, this champion. Pretty big here. Proto belts. If the hook lands, could be the Yasuo ult. Doesn't land. Hook misses 2. Looking for the quick pick, couldn't quite get it. Great pick, solo kill by Shiwu. Means that he's pushed in another wave in top side. Can recall, get himself a spend on his gold. Did get himself a plate there in top side by the looks of it. They will teleport back up. Doesn't have his first item just yet. Stopped off the executioner's calling as well, by the way. So he's going to delay his first item spike off the Triforce.
Lucy 的这把队友其实帮不上忙的，他玩的不是很舒服，但他刷爆了。
刷爆了吗？ 转成 Canyon 的黑化形态，地沟 Canyon。
但这样一想的话，前面的虽然 Amy 那波死了，但那个铺垫是有用的。他让 Raptor 在野区节奏上落后了太多。
Where's the next pick attempt going to come out of? When you've got these kind of combinations, it's very easy to force a fight. Lucid going to clear, stacking up the Conqueror very quickly as Diana does. Does he jump over again? No. Pops the cage down. Showmaker, hang on a second. We've seen this one before. The CC from the Blitzcrank into the Silas. Steals himself. The Yasuo ultimate. Oh my god, the redemption nearly kills him. If Raptor had stolen the Yasuo ult a little bit earlier, maybe could have killed him. Now suddenly the turnaround's going to come back. Bear Kellen does have flash. Raptor used the Yasuo ult as part of that play. Diana brought closer to the play. Curtains have been called and are open, and there comes the Yasuo. Dunks him down with the Diana ultimate, killing off Raptor. 1 for none in the mid lane.
Fight
starts so quickly with these kind of comps. The Yasuo Diana, before the durability patch in mid-2022, this was the combo we saw all the time. Kali going on the Gwen. The Kali's very good by the Gwen, into the Gwen on the side lane on the whole, but Vikla losing out on that one. On the whole, Gwen was used as an Akali was used as a Gwen counter before. Even with the Ultimates Trader there, it looked like Shiwu actually got the best of it. Not sure how that happened. Must have had a full stack Q into another one or something.
悬念还在继续，目前两边都有的打，
看不行，战局非常的不明朗。
然后现在就乱战，两边见面就开打。
这一把是真的纯拼手法的对决了，回到那种最原始、最正宗的英雄联盟的味道了。
而且右边大哥玩的是个劲啊。 克林这把机器人挺有劲儿的，
挺有劲儿。而且这么玩Diablo， 你别说，它虽然是个劲啊，但是201。
不过这英雄要 C 还是至少得3件，就是他才会开始慢慢。
Waiting for those ultimates to come back up now. 10 seconds on the Diana. Sorry, I just had a bit of a brain freeze moment there. Jin going for the Ghostblade first, 2-0. Corki a little bit behind that. Of course, waiting until the Muramana comes through. It's a very close game, folks. It could really come off with the next fight. No one's got huge advantages. Feats of strength haven't been earned yet. First tower is obviously still up on the table for that too. Silas and Diana both with the rocket belt start. Good mobility for them. This could all be on execution, folks. There's no one particularly tanky in this game. Everyone does a ton of damage. There's a chance of pike resets. There's a chance of blitzcrank hooks completely flipping the game. No one has fantastic wave clear either, actually, which means it's much harder to stave off sieges. Diablo is the hyper carry guy, and they're sad that they gave him Jin. The problem was the Corki was first picked, and a lot of the hyper carries were banned away. Now, what do you pick that survives lane and then can also be impactful? I think the Jin was the right pick for the moment, especially with the Blitzcrank already locked in. Showmaker does have... It does have the win ball, but it won't matter. It won't matter. Kellen has been on Showmaker's case this game, walking up to him every single time he can, sending him to 1 and 3. He just walked up menacingly. Landed the silence before the win wall could be cast. Or rather, delayed it from being cast after that point. And at that point, well, you're dead, aren't you? Showmaker no flash. Maybe should just cast the wind wall early. Stopping the hook coming through. Great play from Kellen so far. Lucid lands. Well, Vikla lands the Eon to him. Diana out comes through. Vikla using the R2 to take down Lucid. Barrel flashed away from. Clean assassination by Vikla, taking down Lucid. 2 quick kills across the map from BFX now. Clear took the top lane turret as well, earning the feats of strength of BFX. He'll stick around on this top lane, up inner turret as well. Get a little bit of damage there. A huge stacked wave. Will be collected by Showmaker. Not that much else. Hang on, another E lands. Vikla doesn't have the ult back up. Good damage onto him. Pike hook lands, and Vikla, I think he might be a little bit dead there. A shuriken flip too far. Shiwu gets the kill. Great pickup by Barrel. And his top laner, Shiwu. Why didn't they play Jinx? I believe Jinx was banned. I believe Jinx was banned at some point. Or rather that, or the Corki was just too threatening. Corki, hang on, support combat. Yeah, when Blitzcrank has his ultimate up, the auto attacks of that lightning bolt from the sky do a surprising amount of DPS. Yeah, Jinx was banned 4th on blue side, so they couldn't pick that one. Did I see Gala 1v9 against JDG and qualify for Worlds? I am an LPL caster, so yes, I did. Gala was insane on that Diablo. Ran out. Hang on a second. Kellen walking over, and the W's gone. W. Oh, the E was used as well. Do they have enough damage? Not quite. Curtain call now put out. Aiming. Will body block. The redemption very nearly kills, and the shot goes wide. Diablo so close on that one. Kellen is having a hell of a game, folks. If BFX win this game, it is off the back of Kellen. It is all on the back of this Blitzcrank and that mighty hook from God.
而且现在这个边线大光这条线，因为大光的装备也是很好的，只要格温这英雄确实打卡的是有点费劲的。
Kellen, another one just goes wide. Had to be dodged up from Barrel. Jesus, every time that Q's off cooldown, I'm holding my breath.
但就是他打卡也得有点保命装。对。
Dragon taken by BNK Fear X. They will get their second of the game there, and we're left with an Infernal Rift.
实在不行就放中撞个保底呗，因为右边没有出现那种转线的漏洞，给到他去边线放先锋的机会。
Beryl walking around clearing vision now, has the Umbral Glaive. Will take down wards very quickly, of course, with that. Game is very even in terms of gold. It is all about these quick picks. The vision control, the wave pushing being punished. You can see the difference between, you know, Aurora, Orianna, or whatever, when you've got the, as opposed to the Aswo or the Akali. Well, Akali's a little bit different. Where if you walk up to try and clear a wave, and you don't have a way out, your wave clear is just a little bit too slow to clear a wave and run away. You can get punished very, very hard.
差不多得了，这不可能抓到吧？那上半区已经点满眼了。
BFX has 2 anti-burst drakes. Well, the Chemtech Dragon itself gives you heal and shield power. Hang on a second. Spots the recall. Nothing there. Yeah, Chemtech base Dragon gives you heal and shield power, and it also gives you tenacity. Tenacity, of course, very important in a lot of cases. Not really against this team, though, sadly, because you know, the Pike hook. The displacement, you can stop a little bit of the slow afterwards. The displacement you can't do much about. Can't do much about the Yasuo ultimate or the Diana one as well. Both knockups or suspensions, which don't get affected by tenacity. Diablo does have flash. Loses half his HP. W missing on the way back. Shiwu hooked up Vikla into the backline. Ah, that might be a problem. He's going quite deep by himself. A lot of damage onto Lucid. Finds out Barrel who flash away. Vikla not flashing over. No one dead just yet. Somehow. By the way, somehow not dead. A lot of damage done. Again, quick picks coming out of nowhere. Random Blitzcrank hooks. Lucid pulling the trigger. I mean, how do you stop that from happening, right? I mean, you can't. Not easily. No one on BFX is really tanky enough to stop the Lucid Showmaker combo coming out of Fog of War if they're caught out alone. If it's just on one person, then yes. A bit bad for Lucid and Showmaker to do that. On the other side, Jin W, the... everything with this, only the Gwen W saves you from that. Right here, of course, he goes into melee range of the Blitzcrank unwittingly. Whoa, close run stuff. Beryl very lucky to make it out alive there. Herald summon in top lane was taken by DK a little earlier. That will take down the turret on top side. If BFX first, is it their first trophy? I believe so. I believe so. The main team.
艾米回家应该2件套了，这波出来是有的打的。其实现在 DK 跟 BFX 的经济是没有差距的。现在
Diablo on the Jhin at 2 items. This is probably not a game where Diablo is going to be the main character in the way that FearX typically play games. No, they play to support Diablo. This is not really about him. This is mainly about Raptor and Vikla. Raptor's had a hell of a tournament, you know? He's had a hell of a tournament. I really want to shout out Raptor. I think he's been great. Callan, not bad either, you know? I've put BNK FearX on my radar. There are players which I enjoy watching here. They're a fun team. They've done a lot of good work in this tournament. Lost to D+K, of course, earlier on in the bracket, in the first round. They were knocked down to the lower bracket by them, and they've clawed their way back up to face them again, and they brought them to 5 games. Wonderful run by them. D+K, I think, on the whole, have showed the highest level of play at this tournament, but they're often their own worst enemies. Hook. W flashed away from by aiming. Kellen still has that hook available. And he just lands. Of course he lands it! Of course he does! That being said, the fire back from the Yasuo Diana is insane! Beryl dies, but Jhin goes down along with him. Support for AD carry, D+K will take that. Just as we were saying, the fights start very, very quickly, and there ain't that much you can do to say no about it. You just gotta line up your guns and hope you got the damage to see it. Through to the end. Tower taken by Shiwi. He's getting really scary now, by the way. Normally, the Akali deals with the Gwen in the side lane. It doesn't feel like it's done that this game. The Gwen's been doing a lot of work taking that side lane. 2 items going on 3 now. Atakan started up. Will be spotted on a ward. So BFX have information about this. Teleport up from Shiwu. What is the answer from BFX? Raptor was on the other side of the map. Stolen the Pike ultimate. This is going to be well gone by the time they're there. Dragon's up in 40 seconds. BFX will be trading, therefore, Atakan for better setup around the Dragon. How many paddles did they get out of this? They were on 18. Got up to 28 so far. Plus 10. Hang on, Vikla. Can't find that much after it. Not in range for the ult. Close that. Beryl holding the wave. Corki can clear that up. Dragon in 20 seconds. BFX looking to get on Soul Point. Beryl. Yeah, you're not getting out of that one, mate. Not out of that one. Raptor, easy kill.
可惜在哪儿？
可惜没死早一点。
Okay, Dragon started. That will be the 3rd Dragon for BFX. Vikla, he needs to ult out. Can he get onto Lucid? No, not quite. Uses the E as well. Gets away from Lucid, who has the ultimate. If he does land it, that's a problem. Showmaker has the shield bow. Makes him a lot safer. Lucid, he can flash in for the kill here if he needs to. Curtain call, slowing them down, though. Vikla, held out by Diablo, will make it out safely. No pick on the top side from DK. I genuinely don't understand this guy. Beryl, you know Drake is spawning. Yeah, but Beryl likes some tee-hee fun gameplay. What else can I say? What else can I say? Beryl likes entertainment, folks. He is a very entertaining bloke. Oh, is that the T1 Pike? Oh, it's the T1 Pike, right. I didn't realize. I haven't seen them in game yet, actually. Let's have a check-in on items elsewhere. Hex Drinker now built up for Clear. With both the Executioner's Calling and the Hex Drinker, Clear is delayed as Shojin's 2nd item spike a long way. You do have Nash's Riftmaker for Shiwu. He's online in terms of his damage. Shadow Flame for Lucid next. Not always a big fan of the Shadow Flame on the Diana, actually, because they're often starting the combo in this case, rather than getting the value from the Shadow Flame after. Teleport behind them. Hang on a second. Aiming just used his thingy, didn't he? That's the Yasuo ultimate available from Raptor. If there's a knock-up, he can use it onto someone. Beryl caught out again. That's a fly in from Vikla, and he doesn't get it. Vikla goes into the enemy's mouth and gets chomped down on. Vikla, big mistake repressing that E there, friend. Not sure about that one. Raptor still has the Yasuo ultimate. Couldn't use that to get the CC chain in. 1 for 1. Should have been a clean 1 for 0, though. Vikla dying for pretty much no reason. Oh, Vikla. Raptor goes back to farming. 1,000 gold up, by the way. Almost at a Zhonya's 3rd. That guy's going to be so strong. If you get Zhonya's on Silas, you feel so good about this game because it's such a heavy meat grinder melee game. You really want that Zhonya's to buy time. The E landed. Did he think he'd get the clean kill? So what happens here? Barrier was used. Oh, he missed the Q. He wanted to kill it. It still would have been a 1-for-1, which I just... Hang on a second. If you get the knock up here, there's the Yasuo ult. Stolen. And it's the last breath for you, not him. Beryl goes down. Another kill for Raptor, who is so insanely strong with the Riftmaker second and the Protobelt. This guy's basically a mid lane Yasuo at this point. Same XP as them too. Crazy damage from Raptor. Baron threatened, of course. Showmaker escaping the W there. There was a slow one to him. BFX is starting to pull ahead in this game. Could BNK Fearax get their first trophy ever? Windwall needed to be used on the hook. Shiwu dashing away, but his E's now down. Might have to flash over the wall. There's a Jin W onto the Corki. Blastcone luckily out to safety. Shiwu standing and fighting. Yasuo ultimate going forwards from Showmaker, but I don't think it's enough. Gwen is down. Yasuo is down. Diana is down. And BNK Fearax, the Foxes fight fiercely. As BNK Fearax get a huge lead, that should lead to the Baron. And after the Baron is probably the Infernal Soul as well. I mean, you saw it here first, folks. D plus Kia started the tournament pretty damn strong, and they looked like they were the best team at the tournament coming out of the groups, well, particularly after the early rounds when they knocked the other teams down to the lower bracket. BNK Fearax have made a magnificent run through the lower bracket. The Yasuo Diana combo is not fantastic. Instant CC from the Blitzcrank as he comes out of his own ultimate. Means he can't get any follow-up. Baron goes down. They can recall, set up around the dragon, and that would be Infernal Soul for them. 7,000 gold ahead or so. 5,000. Sorry, 6,000. That's the one. Oh, the one in between 5 and 7. Funny that. Can Raptor get a Zhonya's after this? Yes, he can. So he gets his stasis back. There's an Infinity Edge for Diablo. Shoujin's built up for clear now. Oh, the cardboard cutouts. I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss him. Aiming took himself out of the fight because he was Jin W'd. He was Jin W'd, so he had to hit the blast cone, otherwise he'd die. I mean, DK are going to have to do some serious outplays if they're going to do this now. The Pyke is beyond 20 minutes. This Pyke is barely a champion now. There's a bunch of people which can kill them. The Yasuo Diana feels like it's run out of gold. Raptor walks over the wall, and that's the Yasuo Diana into mid lane. Diablo. Kellen forced onto. Beryl will survive. Raptor is in the fight, though, and that silence is terrifying. Picks himself up another kill. Double over to Vikla. This is just before the Infernal Soul. Vikla looking for Shiwu here too. What's the state of his W? Not enough. Vikla hops out of the damage. Vikla gets himself the kill onto Shiwu. Triple kill for the Akali in the mid lane. BFX say screw the Soul, and the Dragon will break the base instead. Asian Invitational looks like it is on the plate for BNK Fearax. DK, they fought hard through the early stages of the tournament. They were only losing to Weibo, who was sent out by Fearax in the lower bracket. I don't think they'll need the Soul, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, your first Asian Invitational champions will be BNK Fearax. There you go. Your first ASI ever has